Just started university, and my beautiful tutor turns out to be the mother of my child. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 276. Let's go camping together. Lin Feng drove back with a full load. He announced that he would go camping when the weather was good in 2 days. This time, he bought a total of 3 tents. 2 tents were for camping. The last tent was suitable for use at home and could accommodate 5 to 6 people. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi moved the sofa in the living room and unpacked. Baby, stand away. There are many sharp objects here. Be careful not to hurt you. Wife, I can install it. You can stand aside with the children. Zhang Yuxi quickly took the children to the side. Husband, do you need my help? Lin Feng shook his head while reading the instructions. No, I can do it myself. This situation is actually very simple. Lin Feng didn't spend much time to set it up. Zhang Yuxi took the children upstairs. Let's go. Let's take down the little pillows and sleep in the tent in the living room, okay? The babies rushed upstairs. Zhang Yuxi shouted from behind, be careful, babies. The babies took the little pillows, and Zhang Yuxi held their little quilts. Zhang Yuxi warned, you must watch the stairs, otherwise you will fall. If you can't carry it yourself, you can tell mommy and mommy will help you. Among them, Sanbao is the most delicate. Zhang Yuxi saw that Sanbao was struggling to carry it, and stretched out her hand and said, baby, mommy will help you carry the little pillow, how about it? Sanbao shook his head, no need, mommy, baby can do it by himself. Sanbao went downstairs carefully, talking to himself. Mommy has already carried a lot of things, baby can't let mommy carry more things. Baby, it's okay, baby can do it. Zhang Yuxi was relieved and moved. Lin Feng had already put the moisture-proof tinfoil pad. He also put a quilt on it, and then a blanket. The babies were holding a small pillow and waiting in line outside. Okay, you can go in. As soon as Lin Feng finished speaking, the babies rushed in. Subconsciously, they would still give in to each other and subconsciously protect each other. Occasionally, they would quarrel with each other and even fight. They reconciled after just one persuasion, and their relationship was still quite deep. Lin Feng clapped his hands, babies, put our pillows first, and then let mom put the quilts in place. Let's play after we are done with all this. Zhang Yuxi put the quilts and pillows in order, and crawled in with Lin Feng. The babies jumped and shouted in the tent, and were extremely happy. Zhang Yuxi lay in the tent and recalled, the last time I used a tent was when I went camping with friends abroad. Lin Feng said, the last time I was a freshman, and it was also a camping organized by the school. Unexpectedly, they are now the parents of children. Children's energy is inexhaustible. Zhang Yuxi played with them for a while and felt that her energy was almost exhausted. Husband, play with them, I'll take a break. Lin Feng tossed with the babies for a while, and then said, take the toys into the tent and play together, okay? The children will be distracted when they have toys. They can also take a break. It was noon, and Lin Feng went to cook. Zhang Yuxi fell asleep in the tent without realizing it. Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuiang returned home and found a tent in the house. The babies ran out and pulled them into the tent. Grandpa, this tent is so fun, it's like a small house. This zipper can be zipped up, so we can't get out. Dad installed a light that can be turned on. We can sleep here at night. Zhao Lizian took a look and thought it was very good. She smiled and asked, do the babies like it? I like it very much. Dad is the best. Zhang Fuiang saw that Zhang Yuxi had fallen asleep and woke her up. Yuxi, get up and don't sleep here, go back to your room. Zhang Yuxi yawned, I fell asleep. Zhao Lizian smiled and said, you go back to your room. Zhang Yuxi shook her head, no, I'll go to the kitchen. Coming to the kitchen, Zhang Yuxi asked, husband, do you need any help? Wash the spinach with hot water, so it won't taste astringent. Oh. Lin Feng always stir-fried spinach leaves for the babies. Cut the spinach leaves into pieces so that the babies can eat them with a rice spoon. Lin Feng cooks different kinds of food for the babies every day. They can eat well and have balanced nutrition. Lin Feng is a good cook, and the babies eat everything without being picky. After Lin Feng finished cooking the last dish, he said, it's time to eat. Zhang Yuxi went to call her parents to eat and took the babies to wash their hands. Zhao Lizian glanced at the baby's meals and couldn't help but sigh at her son-in-law's care. After eating, the babies waited patiently for Zhang Yuxi to wipe their mouths with a cold towel. They ran to the tent to play. Lin Feng asked, "Dad, Mom, are you free these days? Our family is going camping, and I have bought the tent." Zhao Lizian became interested as soon as she heard it. "I'm free these days. Why don't you invite your uncle and's family to come? It will be more lively with more people." Lin Feng had no objection. "Okay, I'll go to the store to buy a tent then." At noon, Zhang Yuxi told stories to the babies. Lin Feng went to the store to buy another tent. As soon as they got home, the 4 babies went crazy. They all ran over and scared Lin Feng. "What's wrong?" He looked at Zhang Yuxi and asked. Zhang Yuxi sighed. "They asked where you were, and I said I went to buy a tent. By the way, I told them about going camping. They didn't take a nap and were waiting to go camping. So that's how it was." Lin Feng squatted down. "We'll go tomorrow. Now we need to sleep." The babies learned from Zhang Yuxi. Camping can catch butterflies and insects. There are many fun things. They were yearning after hearing this and couldn't sleep at all. Erbeo pulled his hand. "Dad, but we want to go play early." "Dad, you are the best. Erbeo loves you the most. I love you more than Mom. Take me out to play quickly." Zhang Yuxi. The 4th baby said quickly. "Dad, we will be good. Let us go." Dabeo said panting. "Dabeo wants to catch fish and birds." Lin Feng glanced at Zhang Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi looked innocent. "We caught him when we were camping before." Even the quiet Sanbeo was anxious at this time. "Dad, you drive the car. Let's sleep in the car, okay?" Lin Feng held his forehead. Being a parent is sometimes very entangled. He doesn't want to reject the babies, but he doesn't want the babies to get the advantage. Finally, Lin Feng said very seriously. "Okay, this time Dad agrees." The babies immediately danced with joy. Great. One rainbow fart after another blew to the sky. Lin Feng was unmoved, and his expression was still very serious. "You sleep well in the car, and we will wake you up when Dad is done. You must take a nap, understand? Otherwise Dad will be angry." The babies nodded in unison. Zhang Yuxi went upstairs to call Zhao Lizian and her husband, and called in Lan. Lin Feng asked them to pack up and move things, and went to the supermarket to buy barbecue ingredients. Lin Feng bought barbecue ingredients and barbecue vegetables. For example, broccoli, oyster mushrooms, etc. He also bought yang, potato chips and the like. Anyway, he bought everything he could think of. Chapter 277. Is it my fault that I am so strong? Back home. Everyone was still packing up. The babies weren't already asleep. Zhang Yuxi was in the convertible, coaxing them to sleep. Usually they would sleep for more than an hour, but today they would sleep for half an hour. Who would have thought that Lin Feng would spend half an hour to go to the supermarket to buy groceries? Seeing that the babies were asleep, Lin Feng was not in a hurry. Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuiong packed the tents. All they had to do was put the things in the yard and move them up. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi washed the vegetables in the kitchen and then repacked them. While they were there, he cooked the yam porridge for the babies. He also cooked some quail eggs for them, which they liked very much. "Wife, go prepare some wet wipes and bring the babies small toilets." "Okay." For the rest, Lin Feng only needed to prepare some fruits. After packing up, seeing that the babies were sleeping soundly, he couldn't bear to wake them up. So he quietly carried them to the safety seats and waited until they reached their destination. So, Lin Feng drove one car and Zhang Yuxi drove another. Zhang Fuiong was driving an old commercial vehicle with all the camping stuff in it. Zhang Fuiong led the way in front, and Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng followed behind. The family went camping in a mighty manner. The weather was good at noon today, but the sun came out at 1 or 2 o'clock. It was really good weather for camping. After driving for half an hour, we arrived at the riverside to camp. However, this place requires payment, but the fee will be refunded to you. If it is found that the campers have caused environmental pollution or failed to clean up the garbage, they will be fined. And the fine is huge. When we arrived at the management area, we found a flat place where the sun was shining just right to camp. The babies seemed to feel something, and Sibeo was humming. Zhang Yuxi smiled. "You woke up at the right time." Sibeo asked in a daze, "Mom, are we there?" "Yes, we are. Look, there is the river. In fact, it is a winding river, which is more than 1 meter wide. As for how deep it is, we don't know." Sibeo woke up completely with a start and shouted happily. We're here, we're here. This shout woke up Bao beside him. We're here. Yes, we can play. Bao fluttered and walked out of the car. Dabao and Sanbao were in another car. Dabao, get up, we're here. Dabao woke up and smiled sweetly at Zhang Yuxi. Mom, I love you. Zhang Yuxi's heart softened. Mom loves you too. Dabao heard the noise outside, put on his coat and went downstairs to play. Sanbao yawned lazily. Sanbao, get up, let's go see if there are any butterflies, let's go catch butterflies, okay. Sanbao woke up at once. After cleaning up the babies, Zhang Yuxi, Lan and Zhao Lizhan looked after the children. The reason was that they didn't know how to do anything, so they didn't make trouble. Setting up the tent, moving things, etc. It was the job of Lin Feng, Zhang Fuiong and Lan's father. Lan's mother sorted out the ingredients. Let's catch butterflies first, see if there are any butterflies. Don't be discouraged if there are no butterflies, there may be small insects. Zhang Yuxi handed the catching net to the babies and shouted to Lin Feng. Husband, Lan and I will take the babies to see if there are any butterflies around. Lin Feng urged, no problem, but you must pay attention to safety and don't run too far. Zhang Yuxi replied as she led the children away. Don't worry, husband, we won't run too far. Let's go catch butterflies with our godmother and see if there are any small insects, okay. The babies said in unison, okay. They couldn't wait any longer, and under the leadership of Zhang Yuxi and Lan, they went to catch butterflies. There are butterflies in the autumn and winter weather in the south. After a few people looked for it, they really saw the figure of a small butterfly. The babies screamed with excitement. Mom, look at the butterfly, it's white and beautiful. I want to catch a butterfly. Zhang Yuxi quickly signaled the babies to keep their voices down. Keep your voices down, you'll scare the little butterfly away if you shout like this. If it flies away, we won't be able to catch it. Lan nodded, that's right, we must gently approach the butterfly when it stops, and then catch it. Only in this way can we have a chance of success, understand? The babies stretched out their fingers and made a shushing gesture. They were so cute, I wanted to give them a big kiss on their chubby little faces. There were only 2 butterflies, enough for them to play with. After Lin Feng set up the tent, he saw the children having fun. Zhang Yuxi and Lan were also like big kids, having a lot of fun. Mom, the butterfly flew away. Catch it quickly. Godmother, you are so stupid, jump up. What a pity, I almost caught them just now. The babies and the 2 adults played and fought around the butterflies. In the end, the butterflies flew away. Zhang Yuxi took a breath, don't chase them, wait until they fly back, then we can catch them. Lan put her hands on her waist and said breathlessly, I'm so tired. The babies were in good spirits, and they were disappointed when they saw the butterflies flying away. Let's go to Dad's place to see if there is anything delicious and drink some water. She was dying of thirst. After Lin Feng set up the tent, he went to help organize the ingredients. When Zhang Yuxi came, he was lighting a charcoal fire. Lin Feng quickly asked Zhang Yuxi to take the babies away. There's a fire here, don't bring the babies here. There are fruits on the placemat, go and eat some fruit. Lan's mother was setting up the dining table, and Lan drank a sip of water and went to help. Xianmu and Lan's mother and Lin Feng had already set up the dining table and the chairs were foldable, which was very convenient. It just took some effort. Lan was very strong, and Lan's mother looked at her and sighed. You said you are so strong, how can you find a boyfriend? Lan? Strong, is it her fault? What's wrong? Is it wrong to be strong? Zhang Yuxi, who was standing by, couldn't help laughing after hearing this. Lan didn't dare to get closer, and walked over to eat some fruit to calm down. What's wrong, auntie? Zhang Yuxi asked while washing the baby's hands with water. Lan pouted, it's because I was not satisfied with a blind date she arranged for me last time. Then she looked at me, my nose was not a nose, and my eyes were not eyes. Everything you do is wrong, I guess even breathing is wrong. Zhang Yuxi said softly, auntie is just caring about you. Lan said sullenly, I know, but feelings are something you can't force, you have to like each other. Without feelings as the foundation of marriage, how can it withstand any storms? After a pause, Lan glared at Zhang Yuxi. It's all your fault. My mom is really envious of Aunt Zhao now. She's obsessed, you know? As long as he's a man, she wants me to go on a blind date. Zhang Yuxi was stunned. What does this have to do with me? And Lan snorted coldly, I used to believe it. My mom thought there was something wrong with a man. Now I'm on a blind date. My mom thinks there's something wrong with me. It really makes her head bald. Zhang Yuxi sighed. I can't help you with this. At most I can ask my mom to persuade Aunt Zhao. After all, as long as you want to fall in love, there are countless people pursuing you. With so many people, you have to choose carefully. And Lan sighed while eating strawberries. Fortunately I don't live in Shanghai. After a while, I'll go back to Guangzhou and it will be quiet. After all, who doesn't want sweet love? It's just that she doesn't have any feelings for that person. She can't like him. How can she get married? Chapter 278 A Capable Son-in-Law. The babies were sitting on the placemats eating strawberries. Still thinking about the butterflies. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, it's okay. If there are no butterflies, we can go and see some small insects. But don't touch them casually. Some small insects will bite your hands. Sibeo asked quickly, will it hurt? Zhang Yuxi nodded, it will hurt a lot. Lin Feng also lit up the charcoal fire, and came over to get the barbecue ingredients. Hearing the conversation between Zhang Yuxi and the babies, he added the protective barrier skill to the babies without making a sound. In this way, mosquitoes will not bite them. After eating, Zhang Yuxi and Lan wanted to rest for a while. But the babies have been eager to go on the adventure. They can't let the babies act alone, so they have to follow and take care of them. Not only Lin Feng and his friends are here, but there are other people camping as well. Not far from Lin Feng is a family of 3. It's a little girl, about 3 or 4 years old, dressed very cutely. She took a small shovel and a small bucket to dig mud and play. What to do? The babies squatted on the ground and found small insects, but they didn't find anything except ants. Zhang Yuxi talked to Lan while taking care of the babies. And Lan was pulling weeds. Who cares? If I meet the right one, I'll get married. If I can't meet the right one, I'll steal a child. Zhang Yuxi was speechless when she heard that. And Lan's father and Zhang Fuiong had built their tents. After decorating their tents, they found it very interesting. The two of them took small stools and went to the stream to see if there were any small fish. At a glance, there really were. And Lan's father hurriedly shouted, grandchildren, come here quickly, there are small fish here. About 500 meters away is a pond, and there are probably fish in it. When the babies heard that there were small fish, they ran over like galloping ponies. Lin Feng was startled and hurried over. Zhang Yuxi was also worried and followed closely behind. Zhao Lizian shouted to Zhang Fuiong, watch the children, be careful not to fall into the water. And Lan's mother also shouted, watch the children. Zhang Fuiong looked at the ponies coming over and hurried to stop them. Don't run, just come over, be careful. The grass beside the stream has been trampled bald by many people. Zhang Fuiong and Lan's father asked the babies to stand by and watch, pointing to a place in the water grass. Be quiet, don't speak loudly, or you will scare the little fish away. As soon as they hear the sound, they'll run away. Did you see it? There is a little fish over there, look, it moves, moves. The babies stretched their necks to look carefully. Sibeo shouted, I saw it, I saw it. Sanbeo next to him hushed, be quiet, the fish will be scared away by you. Sibeo quickly covered his mouth and widened his eyes. I saw a finger-sized fish hiding in the grass, which started to swim away like lightning. With a whoosh, it disappeared. The speed was so fast that the babies were stunned. Just as he was about to speak, Zhang Fuiong pointed to another place. Did you see it? There is another one over there. Don't make any noise, Grandpa will see if he can catch it. When the babies heard this, they looked at each other excitedly. Zhang Yuxi handed over the butterfly net and whispered, Dad, be careful. Zhang Fuiong nodded, took the net, and straddled the 2 sides of the stream. Ready to catch fish. The babies were extremely excited. Zhang Fuiong gritted his teeth and acted very quickly, but in the end there was nothing on the net. The babies were very disappointed. Zhang Fuiong saw this and said quickly, they ran too fast, and Grandpa couldn't do anything. Zhang Yuxi comforted, that's right, you see that little fish just now, it disappeared in a flash. It's so fast, it's hard for us to catch them. The babies nodded and had to accept this fact. They could only stare at the stream, hoping that another small fish would come. Lin Feng had excellent eyesight and saw 2 small fish next to the stone under the water grass at a glance. The green fish body was almost integrated with the stone. Lin Feng signaled Zhang Fuiong to give him the net. The babies looked at their father with bright eyes and expectation. Lin Feng signaled them not to speak, and the babies nodded obediently. Lin Feng was about 1.8 meters tall, and it was easy for him to cross the stream. He picked up the net and caught the fish in the net in a blink of an eye with lightning speed. The babies danced with joy and admired Lin Feng. "Dad, you are really great." "2. Dad is so awesome. Better than Grandpa, who didn't catch any fish." Lin Feng put the 2 fish in a small bucket. "Dad, see if there are any more fish." 2 fishes are not enough for 4 babies. Zhang Fuiong said with a smile, "Young people are still amazing." Here, Zhao Lizhan and Lan's mother started to barbecue. Zhao Lizhan recalled, "When was the last time we had barbecue?" And Lan's mother recalled, "It's been at least 2 years since we had barbecue." Zhao Lizhan recalled, "It's true. After Zhang Yuxi left, she never had barbecue again." Seeing her daughter joining in the fun, Lan's mother couldn't help but complain. "You said Lin Feng fish to coax the children, you said that he is so old, but he is still very enthusiastic." Zhao Lizhan turned her head and found that her daughter was laughing more happily than Lan. Almost like a child. So she said, "Girls, it's better to be a little pampered. Knowing everything and thinking too much is not a good thing. I said you don't rush too much every day, lest it be counterproductive." Zhao Lizhan came over and whispered, "I want to tell you something, don't tell Lan." Lan asked curiously, "What is it?" Zhao Lizhan was speechless. How come she still heard it even though she spoke so quietly? Zhao Lizhan found that her chicken wings were a little overcooked, so she quickly turned them over. At this moment, the babies and their daughters screamed by the stream. It seemed that Lin Feng had caught the fish again. Zhao Lizhan frowned, "Do you think I burned it?" Lan's mother turned her head and took a look. "It's almost burned, but you can eat it while it's burned." Zhao Lizhan hesitated, "Lin Feng, come quickly, this is going to burn." Lan's mother, "It's great to have a capable son-in-law." Lin Feng caught several small fish of different sizes in the creek again. The babies admire Lin Feng so much and think he's a hero. He can do anything. Lin Feng had just finished his work when he heard Zhao Lizhan calling him. He ran over and found that the chicken wings were going to burn, so he rushed to rescue them. Because there were so many people, Lin Feng bought 2 barbecue grills. One for vegetarian dishes and one for meat dishes. Lan's mother helped on the side, and Zhao Lizhan was helpless and was even driven away by her bestie. What if she was afraid that the barbecue grill would blow up? Zhao Lizhan hummed and moaned as she accompanied her little grandson. Zhang Yuxi took this opportunity to come over to help. "Hubby, you grilled it so deliciously." Lin Feng handed her a bunch of freshly roasted cauliflower. "Try it and see how it tastes." Zhang Yuxi praised it once and was full of praise. "Honey, what you cooked is so delicious, how come it's so delicious?" Lin Feng smiled and said, "Go and have fun, I'll call you when it's ready." The tone was like coaxing a child. "No, I want to stay. The greatest pleasure of eating barbecue is to grill it and eat it yourself." Zhang Yuxi happily took out her favorite ingredients and ate it by herself. The vegetarian dishes were cooked very quickly, and Lin Feng asked them to come over and eat. Otherwise, they would not taste good if they got cold. Chapter 279 New Partner Nanan. Zhang Fuiong and Lan's father sat on small stools. They looked after the babies and chatted. The tent had been set up next door, and the father was making a barbecue. The mother brought her daughter over and greeted the babies. The child was very cute, polite and sensible. "Can I watch with you?" The babies looked up and found that it was a beautiful girl. Of course, they had no objection and agreed on the spot. The girl squatted down and looked at the small bucket, her eyes shining and her face excited. "Wow, you have so many small fish, did you catch them all in the river?" Sibeo said proudly. "Dad caught them, using that net, and he caught them in a flash." Erbeo pointed at Zhang Fuiong. "My grandpa tried for a long time, but didn't catch any." Dabeo said proudly, "Our dad is the best." Sanbeo nodded, and the little balls on his head shook. "Very cute." The little girl's mother said, "Nanan, you play with your younger siblings, and Mom will help Dad, okay?" Nanan nodded obediently. "Okay, Mom." Mom reminded again, "Don't bully your younger siblings, you are the older sister, you should be more sensible, understand?" Nanan still nodded obediently. "I know." She also urged, "Mom, you go and get busy, I'll be here." Nanan's mother was a little worried. Zhang Fuiong and Lan's father smiled and said, "You go and get busy, we will help you take care of the children." The mother smiled gratefully. Then thank you two old men. It's just a little help, no need to thank me. Even so, Nanan's mother still looked back every few steps. After she went back, I don't know what she said to her husband, and she turned back again. I guess she was still worried about the children. Zhang Fuiong pointed to a small stool not far away and said, "There's a stool over there, you can move one over and sit." Nanan's mother moved a small stool over and stayed with her daughter. At first, she didn't notice the appearance of the babies and thought they were babies from several families. Now, the babies all look a bit similar. He asked in surprise, "Are they quadruplets?" Zhang Fuiong nodded. Nanan's mother asked again, "How old are they?" "They will be 1.5 in about a month." Nanan's mother was stunned. "They look very good, they don't look like babies of 1.5 years old." Zhang Fuiong asked, "What about your daughter?" 5 years old, now in the middle class. Nanan looked at the fish in the small bucket and suggested, "We can dig a pit and raise all the fish in the pit." The babies thought it was interesting and agreed readily. The 5 children pretended to choose a place and started digging. This time, the small bucket and the small shovel were brought with them. They dug their own pits and raised the fish in their own pits. Dabao was the strongest and worked hard. He found a place and dug. The other babies had just started, but he had already dug a little. Erbao and Sanbao were the weakest, so they dug the slowest. The two of them were about the same progress. Nanan's mother reminded her daughter, "You have to dig deeper so that the small fish won't swim out." The babies thought it made sense. "Let's dig deeper." Here, the roasted ones are almost done, and Lin Feng divides out some of each. He brings some to Zhang Fuiong and then Lin's father. When Nanan's mother saw Lin Feng, the first thing she thought of was that this man was so handsome. After all, he is obsessed with looks. "Hello." Lin Feng smiled faintly, put the things down and left. Zhang Fuiong smiled and said, "Nanan's mother. You can eat too. My son-in-law is a good cook." Nanan's mother shook her head. "No, the child's father has already started roasting himself. Nanan is the oldest and digs very fast. Logically, she should be the first." Unexpectedly, the first place is Dabao. He dug a very large and deep pit. He wiped his sweat and asked, "Grandpa, is mine ready?" Zhang Fuiong took a look and said, "It's ready." So, Dabao was the first to get 2 small fish. "Come, Grandpa will help you. But before that, we need to put some water in it so that the fish can survive." "How can the fish live without water?" Zhang Fuiong used another small bucket to fetch some water and poured it into the pit. He gave Dabao 2 more fish. Dabao was very happy and shouted, "Dad, Mom, Grandma, Godmother, I raise fish." The people who were called responded to him happily one by one. Dabao felt that it was not enough and ran over. "Mom, go see my fish." Dabao raised them himself. Zhang Yuxi quickly ate the last bite of flesh and bone in her mouth. "Okay, let's go and see together." Dabao looked at Lin Feng. "Bao's dad is coming too. You can see it together." Before leaving, Lin Feng reminded the family mother and daughter to turn the fish more often to avoid burning them. The couple walked to Dabao's small fish pond. In the turbid water, 2 fish could be vaguely seen swimming. Dabao said proudly, "Mom and Dad, is Dabao awesome?" The couple praised Dabao. "Not bad, not bad, Dabao is awesome." "Then let's raise these 2 little fish, okay?" Dabao nodded. "I've named them." The couple asked with interest, "What are they called?" Dabao smiled and said, "Dabai and Fifi." "Aren't these the names of their dog and cat?" Even so, the couple thought these names were good. The second place was Nanan, but Nanan didn't have any fish. She asked the other children for their opinions. "Can you give me a fish?" "A small one is fine too." Sibao worked hard and said, "No problem, just take one." Erbao had no objection. "Okay." Finally, Nanan's mother fished out a little fish. Nanan was very happy. "Thank you." Zhang Fuiong smiled and said, "You have educated your child well, and he is very polite." Nanan's mother smiled modestly. No, after all, he is in the middle class, and he is already a little adult." Next is Sibao. What kind of person is Sibao? He can do things by himself, and most of the time he doesn't rely on others. He picked up a bucket and went to fetch water by himself. Lin Feng hurried to catch up. "Son, are you going alone?" Sibao nodded. "Yes. It's very dangerous, you have to call an adult." Looking at Sibao's confused eyes. Based on his understanding of his son, Lin Feng must have misunderstood something. Holding Sibao's little hand, he came to the stream. Lin Feng told him, "This is very deep, you know? Very deep." Sibao was surprised. The water in this stream is clear, giving the babies an illusion that the water is shallow. Lin Feng looked around and found a branch next to him. "Come, let Dad measure it for you and you will know." He tested it with a small branch. When Sibao saw that the small branch did not enter the stream, he was surprised. Lin Feng took this opportunity to tell Sibao, "Tell Mom and Dad what you want to do in the future, okay?" Sibao nodded, "Got it." Chapter 280 Overnight. Lin Feng filled the small bucket with water and led Sibao back. He also put 2 small fish in the small pond for Sibao. Sibao was very happy. Lin Feng turned back and brought back 2 small buckets. Dabao had already dug it. Erbao said he was not in a hurry and continued to dig slowly. Sanbao was about to cry. She didn't say anything, but kept digging with her head down. Zhang Yuxi walked over and asked softly, "Sanbao? What's wrong?" Sanbao was weak and it took half a day to dig a small hole. How could she not be anxious? Sanbao burst into tears of grievance. It was really like a fairy crying. "Mom, I've been digging for a long time." Zhang Yuxi asked, "Do you want Mom to help you?" Sanbao nodded, "Yes." With Zhang Yuxi there, he dug a big hole in a few huffs and puffs. Sanbao stopped crying and smiled happily. "Thank you, Mom, you are the best." Lin Feng came over to fill the small pond with water and put 2 small fish in it for Sanbao. The third baby was very happy. The second baby was not in a hurry, and did not say a word, just kept digging. Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng felt distressed. The second baby was meticulous in doing things, and he was slow, which took even more time. Lin Feng asked softly, "Second baby, do you want Daddy to help you?" The second baby shook his head, "No need, Daddy. Erbao can do it by himself." Lin Feng thought about it and stood up, "Then Daddy will go and get busy." The second baby nodded. The personalities of the 4 babies were clear at a glance after getting along for a while. Nanan's mother greeted Zhang Yuxi, "Hello, this is my daughter Nanan, I am her mother." Zhang Yuxi smiled slightly, "Hello." Nanan's mother was surprised and admired, "You are really amazing, it must have been very hard when you were pregnant with him." Zhang Yuxi smiled, "It's all right." While chatting here, Lin Feng had already prepared the second batch of barbecue. "Okay, come and eat." Zhang Yuxi asked Nanan's mother to eat together, but Nanan's mother refused. "My husband is grilling." As they were talking, the people over there asked them to go back and eat barbecue. Zhang Yuxi said, "You go and eat, the children can watch." "Okay." Lin Feng took some of Zhang Yuxi's favorite food. The 2 of them ate while taking care of the baby. "Is it spicy?" "It's okay. A little spicy, within my tolerance." Zhang Yuxi could still eat spicy food before. Since she got pregnant, she ate light food. After giving birth, she had to feed the babies, so she had to eat light food. The baby was weaned at around 8 months old, and it took all the time. When Zhang Yuxi touched the chili peppers again, she found that she, who used to love spicy food, could no longer bear it. Fortunately, Lin Feng is a good cook, and he slowly let Zhang Yuxi start to eat spicy food. It was always within her control. When Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi finished eating, it was already 4 or 5 o'clock. Lin Feng heated up the yam porridge. He brought in a small explosion-proof bowl covered with tin foil. "It's time for the babies to eat." Zhang Yuxi took the babies to wash their hands and faces, and reminded Nanan's mother. "Nanan's mother, you watch the children." Nanan's mother responded. Zhang Yuxi took the babies to eat. After the babies finished their meal, Nanan's mother brought the barbecue over and asked everyone to have a taste. "This is grilled by baby Nanan. It tastes okay. You can have a taste." They originally prepared for 2 people, and didn't prepare much. So the barbecue they brought over was not much. They just wanted to taste it. But Lin Feng was well prepared and had some left. They exchanged it as a gift. After the babies finished their meal, they went to see the little fish again. Seeing that it was getting dark, Lin Feng placed smokeless mosquito coils in front of each mosquito net. He also sprayed mosquito repellent. In the evening, Lin Feng heated up egg fried rice for them, and he still heated it with tin foil. Everyone ate the barbecue one after another and got full. After eating some, there was still some left. They gave it to Nanan's home. For Nanan, because they only brought water and bread for the child, which was not nutritious. When night fell, everyone returned to the tent. Zhang Yuxi used water to wash the babies' faces and feet. The children rolled around on the bedding. Lin Feng came back after pouring the water. Wife, call me when you go to the toilet at night. Zhang Yuxi nodded shyly. Zhang Yuxi told them stories. Today's babies can already ask some very strange questions. For example, Mom, why does the big bad wolf eat people? Can't it eat other small animals? Why do some animals eat meat? Can't they eat grass? Why didn't they find that grandma was different? If Dabe became a mother, I would definitely know. Mom, after eating such a big person in your stomach, will your stomach be very big? Will it explode? Zhang Yuxi looked at Lin Feng with a look of help. She really didn't know how to answer. Lin Feng waved his hand, and the babies rolled over like balls. Lin Feng asked, because some animals can only eat specific foods to survive. What if we eat leaves? It definitely won't work, right? We are different from them. There are many things we can only eat. As for why the big bad wolf eats grandma, it's because it's super bad. When it sees a person, it will eat him in one bite. Maybe it thinks it's delicious. As for the reason, Dad can't guess. Lin Feng answered the babies' questions very patiently. At the end, he patted the babies' butts and kissed them. My little cuties, we are going to sleep. But before that, we have to go to the bathroom. Finally, night fell, and the solar-powered light in the tent was hung on the top of the tent. This was the first time for the babies to sleep in a tent, and they were so excited that they couldn't sleep. Listening to the frog croaking outside, they opened their eyes wide and didn't move. Dad, what's the sound outside? Lin Feng replied, the sound of frogs and insects. Erbao asked worriedly, will they crawl in? After saying this, Sanbao obviously trembled. He was scared. The four treasures were excited and looked forward to seeing frogs. Lin Feng comforted Erbao and Sanbao, don't be afraid, they won't come in, this tent will protect us well. Go to bed, it's late. Finally, the babies couldn't bear it anymore and fell asleep one by one. Lin Feng dimmed the lights. Turning around, he found that Zhang Yuxi had fallen asleep due to exhaustion. He hugged her, activated his skills and fell into deep sleep. The babies all had to pee in the middle of the night. It was cold outside, so Lin Feng put 2 small toilets at the door of the tent. When the time came, the first one Lin Feng woke up was Sibao. Sibao squatted on the small toilet, and Lin Feng covered him with his coat for a fear that he would catch a cold. After they all peed, only Sanbao was left. It would take less than 5 minutes to finish. I saw Sanbao sitting on the small toilet, wrapped in his coat and leaning on Lin Feng. He closed his eyes as if he was still sleeping, but he was actually awake. He was just too lazy to open his eyes. After Sanbao finished peeing, Lin Feng carried her into the sleeping bag. The sleeping bags were quite warm, so there was no need to worry that the babies would get cold. Chapter 281 As handsome as Dad. The next day, Lin Feng woke up early and started to make breakfast for them. It was still a little foggy and chilly in the early morning. But Lin Feng was a person who had been cleansed and didn't feel it was that cold. Lighting up the grill, Lin Feng prepared to fry eggs with it, and the adults only had it, plus bread and milk. The baby's breakfast was goat milk powder and small steamed buns and bread made by themselves. After it was done, it was placed on the side of the grill with tin foil to keep warm. Finally, wake them up. It's so happy to get up early and have breakfast. At this time, the sun slowly rose in the sky. It looks like the weather is good today and it will be a sunny day. After the babies finished breakfast, they went to see the fish in their own small pond. The fish are still alive. They discussed whether to go back this afternoon. Lin Feng had no objection. He originally wanted to come out to accompany the children more. After breakfast, Lin Feng, Zhang Yuxi and Enlan took the babies for a walk. There was a shallow beach a few hundred meters ahead, with some pebbles and several large rocks. Someone has set up a tripod here, and there are traces of firewood. It is estimated that they cooked here by burning fire. Baby, there are stones here, walk slowly, be careful not to fall. Just after he finished speaking, he saw that Sibao's flying legs were not controlled well. He sat on the ground with his butt in a daze, and he probably hasn't reacted yet. Usually, couples go out with their babies. Lin Feng is the most naughty with the 3 of them. Just when Sibao sat down, accompanied by Zhang Yuxi's exclamation, Lin Feng turned his head and looked. He suddenly reached out and grabbed Sibao's collar and lifted him up. Sibao was even more confused. Lin Feng asked, did you hurt when you fell? Sibao shook his head, no. It didn't hurt at all. Lin Feng told his son, walk slowly. Zhang Yuxi walked over curiously and found a very round pebble. She asked like a child, showing off the treasure. Husband, look, is this beautiful? Lin Feng took a look, beautiful, very round. Zhang Yuxi happily dug treasures with the children. The pebbles near the water were slippery, and Lin Feng would not let the babies pass. Each baby picked up the pebble that they thought was the most beautiful. Lin Feng washed the pebbles by the river, dried them and returned them to the babies. They happily took the pebbles and continued to move forward. There were still people camping in front, and there was nothing fun. Suddenly, Zhang Yuxi pointed somewhere excitedly. Look, a frog. The babies looked in the direction she pointed. Sure enough, they saw a frog. It was lying comfortably on the small stone, occasionally croaking a few times. The babies were curious and excited, squatting down, and their eyes widened one by one. Suddenly, Erbao shouted, there is another one, there is another one. Sibao and Dabao on the side hurried to stop her. They signaled her not to scare the frog away. Maybe there are many people who often camp, so the frogs here are not afraid of people. In the water, a frog popped its head out, and it was difficult to find. The babies looked at the frog intently. I guess they thought of the story of the little mantis looking for its mother. Sanbao asked Lin Feng softly, Dad, are they waiting for their babies? Lin Feng encouraged the babies to have wild ideas. Every time at this time, Lin Feng would not deny, but agree. Maybe. Dabao said, it may be basking in the sun. Erbao said, it's in the water, it must be thirsty to drink water. Lin Feng smiled, it's possible. After watching for about 5 minutes, he left reluctantly until the two frogs left. Lin Feng looked into the distance, okay, let's go back. Tell Grandpa and Grandma, and Godmother, about the little frogs we saw, okay. We can also show them the beautiful stones we saw, okay. The babies said in unison, okay. Looking at Sibao walking in front, chasing and playing with Dabao. Lin Feng was worried and reminded, babies, run slowly, be careful not to fall. Lin Feng held Erbao and Zhang Yuxi held Sanbao. The two talked and laughed, and they couldn't help but show happy smiles on their faces. Let's go out more often in the future, so that the babies can get close to the nature. Lin Feng thought for a moment, okay, we'll go out again in the spring. After returning, the babies rushed to tell them about the frogs they saw. Erbao added, there is one on the stone, lying down, and another one in the water. She said proudly, they didn't see it, only I saw it in the water. Dabao said, one of them is the father and the other is the mother, wait for the babies to find them. Erbao expressed that she disagreed. Maybe they are out to play. Sibao also said, maybe they are thirsty. In the past, Sanbao would not compete with them for such things. He would only express his feelings after they finished talking. Sanbao was in Zhang Fuiong's arms, and after listening to what they said, he said obediently, they are all green and a little ugly. Dad said they are all good, eating mosquitoes, so that mosquitoes won't bite us. After a pause, Sanbao still said with difficulty, but they are still very ugly, but I won't hate them. There is no way. Sanbao likes those delicate and beautiful ones the most. Erbao stood aside and said, the frog's eyes are so big, and Dad said its tongue is so long. The adults naturally echoed and praised it. After talking about the little frog, the babies remembered that there was still a stone that they hadn't talked about. One by one, they held the stone and took it out like a treasure. Sibao found a stone that looked like a monster and showed it. This is the monster's mouth, this is the monster's foot, and this is the monster's tail. Well, it didn't look right, but after Sibao said that, the strange-shaped stone really looked like a monster. Dabao found an apple. It didn't have the abstraction of a monster, but it did look like an apple. Dabao's was very thin, so Dabao said, this is an apple slice. Well, it looks like this. Dabao was not satisfied with what he found, so he continued to look. Soon he found another long stone, which was strange in shape and not light. When Dabao ran over to introduce it, he was grunting. This is a transformer. Everyone. Wow, this is even more abstract. They can't associate it with transformers at all. But Dabao gestured. This is the transformer's head, its belly, this is the hand, this is the leg. Everyone. Well, use your imagination, it is indeed a bit similar. Erbao found a little rabbit. The degree of restoration is still quite high, you can tell as soon as Erbao introduces it. And Sanbao found it at everyone. It still looks weird, and you can't tell how it looks like Raymond Lamb. Sanbao said, because it is shining, as beautiful as its dad. Everyone. This explanation is amazing. Chapter 282 Waste in Land. It was almost noon. It was time to cook. Lin Feng used the baby's small shovels to dig out a piece of soil, and then made a triangular bracket. He took out a small pot with a diameter of more than 20 centimeters and cooked porridge. This was the pot that the boss gave him when he went to buy the fourth tent. He also gave them a fireproof triangular bracket. There was a partition in the middle, the pot could be placed on it, and the fire could be burned below to cook. Lin Feng only told them to move things, and they didn't know what they had. This pot was put together with miscellaneous things. Lin Feng said he would deal with it, and no one moved it. And Lan exclaimed, interesting. Lin Feng made a mixed porridge this time, and put a little bit of everything in it. With a slow fire, it was especially fragrant when eaten. Lin Feng also wrapped sweet potatoes and corn in tin foil. He roasted a few sweet potatoes and corn, and they could eat them after the porridge was finished. The babies like light food, so he served them some first. Adults have a heavier taste, so he put some of his sauce in it. Suddenly, the fragrance filled the air, which was particularly appetizing and beautiful in color. Lin Feng also served a bowl to Nanan and asked Zhang Yuxi to take it. Nanan's mother said gratefully, thank you so much. Look at them, this is camping. Their silly kid brought a barbecue grill and other things. After eating their fill, Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi took the babies to the grove over there. And Lam followed. The babies who had always lived in the city were amazed at the big trees. Wow, this one is so big. This one is big too. Sanbao found a small sapling, which was very small. She squatted aside and tilted her head to look at it. She called her brothers and sisters, there is a little tree baby here. They surrounded the little tree baby. Erbao asked innocently and cutely. Little tree baby, how old are you? Sibao pointed to the two big trees next to him and asked, are they your parents? Dabao asked, what's your name? My name is Dabao. Sanbao smiled and said gently. You have to grow up well, we will come to see you later. And Lan couldn't help but sigh when she saw it. Little kids, they are so innocent and cute. I really want to have a child. That must be very interesting. While walking, Sanbao found another small red flower and ran over to pick it. Mom! Mom! Sanbao called Zhang Yuxi and motioned her to bend down. Zhang Yuxi saw the small red flower and smiled and bent down. Is this flower for Mom? Sanbao inserted the flower in Zhang Yuxi's hair. Mom is so beautiful. Zhang Yuxi kissed her, thank you, baby. And Lan came over and asked, baby, why doesn't your godmother have one? Sanbao turned his head and looked for it, and found a small flower similar to daisy. It was about the size of a fingernail, and Sanbao pulled it off and put it on in Lan. And Lan felt happy. Although she didn't have a child, she teased her bestie's child. Don't say it, it feels good. And Lan asked very conceitedly, baby, how about me, am I pretty? Sanbao nodded, pretty, but my mother is the prettiest. And Lan didn't care. In every child, mother is the synonym of perfect women. No woman can replace them. Continue walking forward for more than 100 meters and you will get out of the way. Suddenly, there was a bird's cry above, and everyone looked up. They saw a little bird landing on a big tree with lush branches and leaves. Then flew away. And Lan suddenly pointed to a place and said, look, there is a bird's nest there. The babies hurried to find it, and they all wanted to turn their eyes into X-rays. Erbao immediately turned into a little monkey and began to crawl along Lin Feng's legs. Lin Feng picked her up and pointed it out to her. Erbao asked excitedly, I see it, I see it. Dad, is there a little bird up there? Are there any eggs? This is the question that the babies care about most. They really want to know if there are any little birds or eggs in it. Now is not a breeding season for birds. There is probably no bird in the bird's nest. And Lan rubbed her hands, smiled, and was ready to climb the tree. If there are any bird eggs or birds, we'll know when we go and see them. Zhang Yuxi was startled, you want to climb a tree? And Lan was already climbing up with a chuckle, and said excitedly, of course. Zhang Yuxi looked worried, be careful, don't fall. And Lan was confident, don't worry, I won't. And Lan grinned at this moment, and climbed up clumsily with all four limbs. It looked a bit like laughing. What was going on? Zhang Yuxi covered her mouth and held back her laughter, and secretly recorded this scene. And Lan was wearing boots today, so she wouldn't slip. But she still didn't move at all. The babies all cheered her up. Godmother, you are the best, you are super awesome. Godmother, come on, come on. They all shouted slogans at the same time. Godmother, come on, Godmother. But Lan really had no choice, and she slid down after climbing less than a meter. Emma, oh my. Seeing the disappointed looks of the babies, Lan felt like a loser. Coaxing the babies, don't be sad, Godmother made a mistake just now, this time I can definitely climb up. Patting her chest, Lan looked very proud. Believe in Godmother. Watch. Zhang Yuxi held back her laughter, come on. Lan looked arrogant, you watch me too. I used to be a tree climbing expert. When Lan was a child, she returned to the countryside. Like a boy, she climbed trees to dig out bird nests and went to the river to catch fish. She was proficient in everything. Lan regrouped, jumped, and hugged the tree. This time she worked very hard, but unfortunately the results were not good. Gritting her teeth and trying not to fall down was useless. Fuck, I'm going to fall down. This time, it still ended in failure. The babies were even more disappointed. Lan felt even more like a loser. Oh my god, how could she disappoint such cute babies? Don't be sad, babies. 3 times the limit. Godmother will try again, maybe it will work. Lan looked at the tree and said angrily, damn it, I don't believe it. Zhang Yuxi frowned, don't say bad words. Lan quickly said, I'm too excited, babies, don't learn from Godmother. Rubbing her hands, Lan began her third attempt. With a failure of the first 2 times, after summing up the experience for the 3rd time, she climbed quite fast. The babies cheered for Lan and were so excited. But Lan's physical strength could not support it anymore, so she continued to climb up. She originally thought about hugging the tree to catch her breath. However, after taking a breath, she felt exhausted when she wanted to try again. She resigned herself to her fate and slid down a little bit. She looked at the babies with self-blame and guilt. Well, Godmother tried her best. Although the babies were very disappointed, they still comforted Lan. The tree is so high, and my Godmother is so short, she can't climb up. Thank you for your hard work, Godmother. Let's watch it later. When I grow up, I can climb up and watch it myself. Looking at the heartwarming little cuties, Lan sighed heavily. They comforted her verbally. But those pairs of eager eyes. Lin Feng, who had been standing by without saying a word, stood up and said, let me try. Chapter 283 Dad is Superman. Hearing this, the babies rekindled their hopes. They clapped their hands and praised Lin Feng. Come on, Dad, you are the best. Lin Feng took a few steps back to run up, and then watched his expression become focused and he ran quickly. It was like a gust of wind passing by, carrying his unique fragrance. Zhang Yuxi, and Lan, and the 4 babies saw Lin Feng climb up the tree directly. He ran up the tree directly. They were all stunned and looked unbelievable. Lin Feng and Lan formed a sharp contrast. The babies looked at Lin Feng with great admiration. They looked up at Lin Feng in the tree. Wow, my dad is so great, like Superman. Did Dad fly just now? Dad is so high, will he fall down? Dad, be careful, don't fall down, it will hurt if you fall down. Dad, is there a baby bird? Lin Feng was originally tall, and he used to climb over the wall like Lan. After the cleansing of essence and marrow, his steps are light and his jumping ability is very good. Climbing a tree is a piece of cake. Lin Feng climbed up and approached the bird's nest. He was surprised to find 3 white bird eggs. He took out his mobile phone to record a video and slid down the book. And Lan said, if I had known that Mr. Lin was a tree climbing expert, I would have given up and let you come. The babies gathered around and asked questions. Lin Feng played the video. The babies were very happy. Zhang Yuxi and Lan were quite surprised. They didn't expect there were really bird eggs. On the way back, the babies kept asking questions. They also took the video to share with their daughter. Then he vividly described his father's skills of flying over eaves and walls. And Lan had a lot of wood residue on her body, and she happened to be wearing a light-colored sweater. A lot of lines were drawn. Seeing this, Lan's mother frowned. Why did you become like this? Did you fall? I said you are so old, don't you look at the road when you walk? At this time, the 4th child said. Godmother climbed a tree. And Lan's mother widened her eyes. What? You climbed a tree? Look at your ability, you are so old, and you still climb a tree. The second child continued, I climbed several times, but I couldn't climb up. And Lan's mother was very disappointed, you can't even climb a tree, it's a waste of time. I remember you could climb trees when you were a child. And Lan at this time. After packing up, it's almost time to go back. The babies chose to put the small fish they salvaged back into the river. Zhang Yuxi's heart moved, okay, let's take them home. You know, they like small animals very much. And at this age of babies, there's rarely any reason to like something. If you like it, you like it, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you want to have it. How pure their ideas are. I don't know if other babies can listen to reason when they are about 1 year old. But my babies can listen and understand if I talk to them patiently and carefully. If they insist on doing so, I and Raymond Lam love the babies so much. We will definitely follow their lead. After packing up for about half an hour, everyone set off to go back. When they got home, the adults were busy. The babies took out the stones to play with. When Raymond Lam passed by, he heard Sanbeo say, my stone is shiny, your stone is not shiny. The little rabbit that Urbeo picked up can be said to be the ugliest. She pouted her little mouth and played with a little rabbit stone, a little unhappy. The boys didn't care. Transformers versus monsters, they had a lot of fun. Urbeo is a girl, and seeing Sanbeo's shiny, she probably thinks she is ugly. Raymond Lam found some paint. This is what Zhao uses for painting when she is free. Raymond Lam looked at the small label on the box, which said that it can be used as children's paint. Zhao smiled and said, when I bought it, I thought that maybe the babies could use it, so they are all the best. Lin Feng came to the coffee table on the balcony with paints. He waved, babies, bring your stones and small stools. The babies' eyes lit up and came over with their wooden stools. Looking at the paints, the babies were expectant and curious. Dad, are we painting? Where did these come from? They guessed. Lin Feng put on their little smocks and caught a glimpse of Zhang Yuxi. Wife? Zhang Yuxi looked back and saw that they seemed to have an activity. She smiled and asked, what are you going to do? Lin Feng asked, will you join? Let's paint the little stones. Of course, she would not miss the opportunity to do activities with the babies. Lin Feng divided a little of each color of paint. Take out the stones we picked up and paint them with our favorite colors, okay? Okay. The babies were immediately interested and started to paint. Zhang Yuxi looked at her round little stones and her heart moved. Lin Feng came over and asked, honey, what do you want to draw? Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, draw us. Lin Feng observed the baby's every move. The fourth baby was quick and decisive. While the other babies were still choosing colors, he had already started with black. He was coloring them all, having fun. The color chosen by the second baby was the brightest. So, Lin Feng thought she would choose red or green. Unexpectedly, the final choice was golden yellow. The first baby's transformers were also colorful. The reason was that she felt that her stones were already very beautiful and did not need to be colored. Meanwhile, Zhang Yuxi used a pencil to sketch the portraits of the two on the round stones. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. Honey, have you learned to paint? Zhang Yuxi smiled lightly. I have learned, but I only know the basics. I haven't painted for several years, and I feel okay, not rusty. Lin Feng stood up. Okay, you guys paint, I'll go cook. Zhang Yuxi pulled him and said softly, no, stay with us, okay. She felt like a family of 6 together. At this time, she hoped that Lin Feng could also participate. Honey, I paint your colors and you paint my colors, how about that? Lin Feng thought for a while, okay. But let me make it clear in advance, I don't paint well. Zhang Yuxi looked indifferent, it's okay, just paint whatever you like. She painted quickly, and Lin Feng's appearance jumped vividly on the stone. Honey, it's your turn. After all, Lin Feng also has skills. The basic skills are not as good as Zhang Yuxi's, and it's good enough that he didn't doodle randomly. Zhang Yuxi was surprised. Honey, it's good. The colors are very bold. She held her chin. I'll ask Dad to make a box and a stand to put this away. Many years later, when I take it out and look at it again, it will be full of memories. Lin Feng agreed. Sanbeo came over to praise. Mom and Dad painted it so beautifully, just like the real thing. Zhang Yuxi kissed her. Soon, the baby's beautiful stones came out. In the eyes of adults, it was a mess of scribbles. But in the eyes of the babies, it was their exquisite paintings. Of course, they praised and encouraged, hoping that they would continue to work hard in the future. Afterwards, Zhang Yuxi took the babies to wash their hands. Lin Feng went to make dinner. After cleaning up, the babies took the stones and ran to show their grandparents. Zhao Lizian praised them greatly. Not bad, each one of them is beautiful. Oh, maybe in the future, you will all be little painters. Zhang Fuiong came over to take a look. What are these paintings? Before he could say the word toy, he was interrupted by Zhao Lizian. These are all drawn by the babies, take a look. After saying that, he glared at Zhang Fuiong. Zhang Fuiong reacted and quickly said, not bad, all very good. He was most satisfied with Sanbao's golden apple. The color was uniform and clear at a glance. However, the children were only 1.5 years old, and they were his little grandchildren. He didn't have any requirements. It's time to eat. The babies walked in front, and Zhang Fuiong and Zhao Lizian followed behind. Zhao Lizian glared at him. Zhang Fuiong quickly complained, I didn't know they drew it. I won't make comments casually in the future. Zhao Lizian said lightly, think before you speak in the future. Zhang Fuiong, I know. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 284 The Baby's Little Secrets. The next day, Lin Feng took Zhang Yuxi and the babies to the supermarket. It has been so long since we came to Shanghai, but we haven't been to the supermarket as a family. Perhaps it was because the Chinese New Year was approaching. The supermarket already had a Chinese New Year atmosphere. There were many people visiting the supermarket, and the atmosphere was full of joy. After buying some ingredients, they went home. Sibao pulled Erbao and pointed at the eggs in the shopping cart. Erbao blinked and smiled knowingly. Zhang Yuxi was pushing the babies, and Lin Feng's shopping cart was full of things. Because it was inconvenient to bring the children, he didn't buy much. Because the Chinese New Year was approaching, many supermarkets were doing activities, and the discounts were quite large. I'll come again later and buy some dry goods that can be stored, and some New Year goods. Zhang Yuxi had no objection to what Lin Feng said. Let mom watch the babies for a while, I'll come with you. Lin Feng took this opportunity to shake her hand. Okay. He could feel Zhang Yuxi's attachment to him. After Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi put the things in the kitchen, they left again. Before leaving, she said something to Zhao Lizian who was on the phone in the living room. I'm watching, you guys go. Zhao Lizian said, covering her phone. Sibao and Erbao hooked their fingers, and the other two babies gathered around. Sibao pointed to the eggs on the kitchen counter. Erbao, who spoke the most fluently, said, do you see those eggs? Mom told us that as long as we hold them in our arms, chicks will hatch. We each take an egg and put it in our arms when we sleep, so that chicks will hatch the next day. When the other two babies heard this, their eyes lit up. Oh, this is a really good idea. Sanbao looked up and asked, but this is too high, we can't reach it at all. Dabao said, use a stool. The four babies worked together to carry the stool to the kitchen. Sibao accidentally fell down. His brothers and sisters came over to ask about his concern. Sibao shook his head, I'm fine. At a distance of 2 meters, it was not difficult for the babies to work together. It is said that when a child is quiet, he is either sleeping or making trouble. Zhao Lizian hung up the phone and didn't hear the babies' voices. Babies, what are you doing? Where are you? At this time, the four babies went upstairs from the other side of the dining room. Zhao Lizian didn't hear the babies answer, only heard a few thumps. She hurried upstairs to see. When she opened the door, she saw the babies in the bedroom, looking at him in unison, very tacitly. Babies, what were you talking about just now? Grandma called you, why didn't you answer? At this time, the phone in the living room rang. Zhao Lizian told them, be good, Grandma will answer the phone first, and then come to accompany you, okay? The babies nodded. When Zhao Lizian left, the babies smiled like little foxes. They put the eggs they got under the pillow. Erbao said with anticipation. Wait until we go to bed at night and hold it, so that we will have chicks tomorrow. Dabao smiled foolishly. Give mom and dad a surprise, they will definitely be very happy to see the chicks. Sibao touched the egg that belonged to him. Like coaxing a baby, she said, be good, baby chicken, go to sleep here first. They said goodbye to their respective eggs. Then they went downstairs contentedly. Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng brought back a lot of things. Wife, put the vegetables in the refrigerator for a while. Okay. If it was Lin Feng, he would definitely find that the number of eggs was wrong. Zhang Yuxi closed the refrigerator door and saw Sanbao hesitant to speak to her. What's wrong, Sanbao? Do you have something to say to Mom? Sanbao hesitated and shook his head. Mom, Sanbao will give you a surprise tomorrow. You will definitely be happy. Zhang Yuxi thought for a while and asked, then can you tell Mom what the surprise is? Sanbao shook his head. Not yet, I can tell you tomorrow morning. Zhang Yuxi did not ask, okay then. Mom is waiting for Sanbao's surprise tomorrow. Sanbao ran away to play happily. Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuiong planned to have a good New Year this year. New Year's goods must also be prepared. This time, Lin Feng saw that the supermarket was having an event and bought a lot of them back, and they are almost all complete. Recalling the last time she spent the New Year in Micheng, Zhao Lizian still missed it a little. Tonight. The babies were very proactive in cooperating with sleeping. Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng were a little puzzled. They felt that something was wrong with the babies. Especially Dabao, who had never gone to bed early, actually went to bed early this time. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, Sanbao said today that he would give me a surprise tomorrow. Will it be related to this surprise? Lin Feng didn't understand what she meant. Maybe. In the middle of the night, Lin Feng peed the babies and held them in his arms. It was slippery and wet when he touched it. Something was wrong. Lin Feng stretched out his hand and took a look, and was shocked. Did he have diarrhea? Or did he poop? And it didn't smell at all. For a moment, Lin Feng didn't react to what was going on, and when he looked closely. What? Is it an egg? Lin Feng took off Sibao's panties, and there was really nothing. This is really an egg. Lin Feng frowned, wondering why his son put an egg in the quilt when he was sleeping. He didn't expect to think about it carefully, and took Sibao to pee. Then he changed Sibao's pants and put them in the bed. Then he went to tidy up Sibao's bed and put a new quilt and blanket on it. After doing all this, he looked at Sibao who was sleeping soundly. Lin Feng was very amused. Chapter 285 The egg is missing. After taking care of the 4 babies, the next step is to pee for the eldest baby. When he picked him up, Lin Feng's face froze slightly. The familiar smell of raw eggs. Looking closely, he was indeed covered with egg liquid and holding eggs in his hands. Lin Feng hurried to see the other babies. Except for the 3rd baby, their eggs were all broken. Lin Feng took care of the babies from beginning to end. He was also a man who had seen the world, and he was not panicked at all. He probably guessed what the babies were doing this for. Lin Feng packed up the babies one by one. He put the clothes and small quilt covers in the washing machine and washed them tomorrow. Then he put the eggs under the 3rd baby's pillow back in the refrigerator. The next day, early in the morning, the babies who got up to pee and poop were all stunned. Their eggs were gone. No, it wasn't their eggs that were gone. It was the chicks they hatched that were gone. The 2nd baby cried with a loud cry, and the voice scared the 3rd baby awake. Lin Feng thought about this last night. Except when she and Yuxi went to the supermarket, the babies were always under her nose. It must be at that time that the eggs were stolen. If it wasn't stolen, how could Zhao Lizian not know? Zhang Yuxi was also awakened by Erbao's loud cry. What's wrong? What's wrong? Not only Erbao, but all except Sanbao cried. Zhang Yuxi hasn't seen such a scene for a long time. It was when they were about 1 month old. Lin Feng, an insider, whispered in her ear. Zhang Yuxi was distressed and amused at once. It must be because I told the babies last night that the birds were hatched. No wonder Sanbao said that he would give me a surprise today, so this is the case. Looking at the sad babies, Lin Feng said softly. Don't cry first, Daddy tells you something. Except for Sanbao who looked sad, the other babies were very sad. They didn't hear what Lin Feng said at all. He said again, Dad will take you to see where the eggs are. Sure enough, this sentence was very effective. It successfully stopped the babies from crying. But before Daddy tells you, you have to pee and poop first. Otherwise, you'll poop in the crib. The babies went to the toilet one by one. Zhao Lizian found that the bedroom door was open, and looked in and asked. I heard Erbao crying just now, what's going on? Zhang Yuxi held back her laughter. Last night I heard me say that birds hatch from eggs, and a few people secretly took eggs and put them on the bed, probably thinking of hatching chicks. As a result, In the middle of the night, except for Sanbao's egg, all the others broke. Look, he woke up and found that the eggs were gone, and he's crying here. Zhao Lizhan understood instantly, and came over and slapped his forehead. I called yesterday and didn't hear their voices for a while. I went over to see them and they ran straight upstairs from the dining room. I went upstairs and saw that they were all fine. Just then the phone in the living room rang, so I went downstairs to answer it. It must have been at that time that they secretly took the eggs from the kitchen. You said the kitchen is so high, how did they get up there to get the eggs? No, we have to put away the knives and forks in the kitchen, these sharp objects, so that the children won't hurt themselves. As he was talking, he saw the babies coming out of the bathroom with tears in their eyes and pouting their little mouths. Lin Feng took them to the washing machine on the balcony and took out the small sheets and their clothes inside. The eggs are all broken. Erbao and the others burst into tears when they heard it. Even Sanbao started crying. Woo woo, our chicks are gone. All broken, chicks, my chicks. No more chicks. Seeing this, tears fell like beads from a broken string. The three of them were so distressed that they held the baby in their arms and comforted him. Lin Feng comforted them. Don't cry, that egg is for us adults and children to eat, it can't hatch a chick. Zhang Yuxi quickly said, no matter how much the babies apply it, it won't hatch. Zhao Lizhan followed up, that's right, even if the hen comes. No, it's the mother hen who comes. She can't hatch those eggs into chicks. Sanbao still had tears on his face, sobbing and asking, why? The other babies also gradually stopped crying. Zhao Lizhan didn't know how to explain for a moment, and turned to look at her daughter and son-in-law. Zhang Yuxi instinctively looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng explained, because there is no chick inside. Only the kind of egg with a chick inside can hatch it. Sanbao asked pitifully, Dad, can you give me an egg with a chick in it? Erbao cried the loudest and shed the most tears. Dad, you are the best dad in the world. Mom, Grandma, you are the best too, I love you so much. Sibao jumped into Zhao Lizhan's arms. Grandma, Sibao wants chicks. Dabao also sobbed. Zhao Lizhan looked at Lin Feng, it's almost the new year, where can we get chicks? Lin Feng looked at Zhao Lizhan meaningfully. What he meant was that he could get chicks, but it depended on Zhao Lizhan's opinion. Zhao Lizhan loved her grandchildren like her own eyes. You watch and do it, if chicks can really be hatched. I'll raise those chickens when the time comes. Lin Feng coaxed the babies, okay, stop crying. Dad will buy you chicks that can hatch. The babies all smiled, and their expressions changed very quickly. Lin Feng said, it takes time to hatch chicks. You can't just buy them today and hatch them successfully tomorrow. You need to wait patiently. If you can't wait any longer, then Dad won't have to buy them. Think about it. It takes about 20 days to hatch chicks, which is not a short process. The babies agreed without thinking. After packing up the babies, Zhao Lizhan took them downstairs. He went online to buy fertilized and hatchable eggs. When buying an incubator, he hesitated. He wanted to make it himself. When watching videos before, Lin Feng saw someone making his own incubator. There are many different types, but the principles are the same. It's better to make an incubator yourself, which is interesting and can also let the baby experience the fun of handmade. Later, Lin Feng bought 30 fertilized eggs online, including chicken eggs, duck eggs and crane quail eggs. Even if more than 20 of the 30 failed, there must be a few that can be stocked. Lin Feng found a seller in the same city, and the other party promised to deliver it in the afternoon. Next, Lin Feng went online to learn how to make an incubator. Then, he saw an interesting video. You can use a rice cooker to hatch chicks, but you need a temperature controller. After breakfast, go buy one yourself. Zhang Yuxi came up to call Lin Feng to eat. Honey, are you done with your work? Lin Feng put away his phone. I'm done. I plan to take the babies to hatch chicks together. This way, it will be meaningful for the babies. After breakfast, Lin Feng asked Zhao Lizhan, Mom, do you have an unused rice cooker at home? Zhao Lizhan thought for a moment. Yes, what are you going to do? Hatch chicks. Zhao Lizhan. Chapter 286 Homemade Egg Incubator. After breakfast, Lin Feng went to buy a thermostat. He bought it easily. The babies learned that the eggs that can hatch chicks will arrive home today. They were looking forward to it and kept looking at the door. When it was almost time for a nap at noon, Lin Feng urged them for a long time, and they reluctantly went to bed. Sibao said, Dad, the eggs are here, can you tell me? Lin Feng nodded, I know, go to sleep. The babies just fell asleep, and the boss delivered the fertilized eggs. Lin Feng bought 30 eggs, so he gave 1 chicken, duck, and quail each. Thank you, boss. You're welcome. If you have any questions, you can call me. Here is my contact information. Okay. Lin Feng followed the boss's request and rested for a while with his head facing up. It was about an hour. Next, he had to wait for the babies to get up. Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuiong became interested when they learned that Lin Feng was going to use an electric rice cooker to hatch chicks. After the babies woke up, they learned that the eggs had been delivered, and rushed downstairs. They gathered around Lin Feng, stretching their heads to watch. After checking each egg, Lin Feng began to prepare the incubator. Put on 2 sturdy pockets and fill them with warm water. The water level is about 1/3 of the rice cooker. Then put in the probe of the thermostat. The incubation temperature requires very precise, about 38 degrees. The thermostat probe that Lin Feng bought will automatically cut off the power when it senses that the temperature of the rice cooker is higher than the set temperature. It will continue to be powered on after it is restored. However, there will be residual heat after the power is cut off, causing its temperature to continue to rise. In this way, there will be a relatively large error range. The girl in the video added a water bag to buffer. In fact, waterbed incubators are all based on this principle, and many people use this method. However, they use rice cookers. Lin Feng marked the front and back of each egg so that he could turn the egg over when the time comes. He also asked the babies to choose their favorite color. Paint the eggs with your favorite color, and everyone can have 6. The other 3 eggs belong to Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi. The incubation time of quail is 15 to 17 days. In order to prevent them from being hurt by the eggs when they break out of the shell, they are specially found a small electric rice cooker and put them together separately. When the temperature of the waterbed is about 38 degrees, they can be put in and covered with a small quilt. The same is true for quail eggs. Lin Feng stood up. Okay, let's wait slowly in the next period of time. The babies asked excitedly. Dad, what do the chicks look like when they just hatch? It must be very cute. Faced with the curiosity of the babies, Lin Feng found a video from the internet for the babies to watch. The babies watched without blinking. For them, the birth of life is so magical and incredible. Next, Lin Feng will turn the eggs over 3 times a day, in order to let the babies participate. Therefore, they have to participate in turning the eggs together. The babies are looking forward to the next period of time. Since returning from camping, the temperature has dropped sharply, and there has been no strong sun for 2 or 3 days. Shanghai is in the north, but it belongs to the south. But the temperature is just like the north. Occasionally it snows, but it doesn't affect the cold here at all. Fortunately, we have installed floor heating at home, so we don't feel cold. In a blink of an eye, a week has passed. It's time to take a look at the eggs to see if there are any bloodshot. Lin Feng said to the babies who came up to him. See? This little black dot inside the egg. They are still moving. This is when the chicks are very small. We will hatch it little by little, and then the chicks will break out of the shell and meet us. The babies were very surprised. They felt that all the waiting was worth it. After taking a look at the eggs, 33 eggs, 5 were broken, and there were 28 eggs left. It was very unfortunate that each baby had 1 broken egg. The 3 eggs of Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi were good. It's normal to have broken eggs. Look, don't we have a lot of good ones? Lin Feng comforted the children. In the following time, because the weather outside suddenly changed, most of them did not go out. Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuiong occasionally went out, and Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi stayed at home with the babies. The weather will be like this every day for the next week. The only thing to look forward to is that the quail eggs will hatch after this week. Lin Feng put the eggs in warm water, and the babies gathered around to watch. You can see that the eggs floating on the water began to move. Some just moved slightly, and some moved very vigorously. Lin Feng told the babies, "Babies, did you see it? The chicks inside are moving." The babies stared with wide eyes and looked at it in surprise. Sibao pointed to his egg and said, "Dad, my baby here is moving so vigorously." Lin Feng smiled and said, "Yes, it means that the chick inside is very lively and healthy." Sambao is such a soft person. His eggs are very lively, shaking non-stop in the water, which makes the little guy very happy. In the next few days, the little guys are looking forward to the quail eggs hatching. This time, Lin Feng bought 3 iron cages with hollow bottoms. After coming back and decorating with the babies, The nest was finally completed. The next step is to wait for the quail to hatch, which has become their most anticipated thing. Because there is a heater at home, then we can make a small sun to keep them warm. In order to let the babies see the shells cracked as soon as possible, the quail eggs were moved to the bedroom. If nothing goes wrong, the shells will crack in 1 or 2 days. It's time to eat. Lin Feng came up to call them to eat, and the babies were reluctant to leave the rice cooker. Seeing this, Lin Feng sighed and went downstairs. When he went upstairs again, he and Zhang Yuxi moved a small table up. Then they brought the babies' meals up and let them eat in the bedroom. When they took a nap, the babies were also thinking about it. They repeatedly told Lin Feng that if the shells cracked, they must wake them up. Not only the babies were looking forward to it, but also Zhang Yuxi. Honey, do you think the quail will crack today? I don't know. When Lin Feng woke up from his nap, he took a look and found that a quail egg had cracked. This is probably about to crack. Lin Feng hurried to wake up the babies and Zhang Yuxi. They were all drowsy at first, but when they heard the quail was about to hatch, they all woke up at once. Sanbao broke his own historical record. This time, it was the fastest time he had woken up so far. Everyone gathered around the small rice cooker, watching the quail hatch. The second one, the third one. 5 of the 10 quail eggs had already begun to hatch. The babies held their breath and watched without blinking. The quail pecked the eggshell with its beak. The last quail that moved was the first to come out. The other quails hatched one after another. Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuiong also came up to watch, and they were so surprised. The quails that were driven out looked like they had fallen into the water, and it would take a while for them to become furry. They were so small. Lin Feng signaled them to keep their voices down so as not to scare the quail babies. The first one to hatch was Sanbao, followed by Erbao, Sibao. Chapter 287 First Snow. After waiting for more than an hour, there were more than 30 eggs, and 6 hatched in total. Dabao cried because none of his eggs hatched. The one that Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi hatched was given to Dabao. Dabao finally smiled. Lin Feng had finished a cardboard box with the babies in the past few days. They were still too young, and the iron cage was not suitable for them to live in. They had to grow up a little bit before they could live in it. There was a highly absorbent paper pad under the cardboard box, and in order to prevent them from getting cold, they were baked in the sun. After packing up everything, Lin Feng put the hatched quails in the cardboard box. They rubbed their hands one by one. Dad, can we catch them? I want to touch them too, they are so cute. Yes, they are super cute. Lin Feng asked them to hold them with both hands. You are still too young now, and if you don't control your strength well, they will get hurt. You can only put them in your palms. Come on, Sibao, come. There was a small rope of different colors on the feet of each quail. Lin Feng gently placed Sibao's quail in his hand. After the quail floated out, it became fluffy and cute. Sibao felt itchy in his palm, shrank his neck, shrugged his shoulders and smiled. Erbao stretched out his little hand. Dad, me. Zhang Yuxi whispered, don't worry, take your time. Lin Feng put one in each of the baby's hands, and also put one in Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuiong's hands. The two laughed like children. After a while, Lin Feng said, Okay, we have to put them all back now. They are still too young, don't toss them too much. Lin Feng prepared feed and water for them with a cup lid. These little guys went to find food when they smelled this smell. The babies were still not satisfied and shared their experiences with Lin Feng. Dad, they are so small and soft. They just pecked my hand, but it didn't hurt at all. Dad, should we give them names? Lin Feng touched their heads lovingly. Sure, you can name your quail babies. The babies thought carefully and gave their babies names. Each of them only had one quail, so there was no need to make too much trouble. He believed that these quails all looked exactly the same. Giving names was just for the sake of courtesy. Looking back, the babies had forgotten all of them and didn't recognize any of them. Dabao was very direct and named his only quail baby Dabao. Erbao thought about it and said, let's call it Little Cutie. Sanbao had already named it, Fruit. Why was it called Fruit? Sanbao's answer was, because it's called Fruit. Sibao named it Ultraman. Well, the babies' ideas were so simple and direct. In the next few days, they kept circling around the paper box. In order to ensure their survival rate, they had to be carefully cared for after hatching. After 2 days, They were all doing well and were all lively and energetic. Lin Feng's task is to clean them up. The babies' tasks are to play and watch. 3 days later, it was time for the chicks to hatch. After the quail hatched, Lin Feng put the eggs in. Early in the morning, Lin Feng vaguely heard the chicks and opened his eyes. He lifted his scarf and saw that a chick had already hatched. Judging from its feathers, it was estimated that it had only been out for a short time. Some of the eggshells were also cracked and were not far from hatching. Lin Feng hurriedly woke up the babies and Zhang Yuxi. The floor heating was turned on and there was a little sun at home. The babies just put on their coats. He quickly packed them up and ran to the rice cooker to take a look. The first chick that had hatched just now had turned into a fluffy little yellow chicken. It was so cute! Exclamation mark. The babies were all screaming with cuteness, so fluffy and cute. The little yellow chickens hatched one after another. The hatching rate was still quite high this time. 7 of the 8 eggs hatched, and the other one had not moved. Judging from the color, it was a 4th baby. Although Sabeo was sad, his other one was hatched. His sadness was immediately attracted by the little yellow chicken. The size of the little yellow chicken is incomparable to that of the quail. It is much bigger and cuter. So as soon as the little yellow chickens hatched, they immediately became the new favorites of the babies. They kept chirping in the paper box. Some people were attentive to naming, while others were not. For example, Dabeo, the quail was called Dabeo, and the chick was called Dabeo number 2. Sibeo quail was Ultraman, and the little yellow chicken became Tiga. Sanbeo's fruit became a vegetable this time. Erbeo's name is the same. This time, the task of naming Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi's little yellow chicken was given to Yuxi. Yuxi said, "Let's call it Little Chicken." Lin Feng couldn't help laughing. Zhang Yuxi was a little embarrassed and asked coquettishly, "Hey, what are you laughing at?" Lin Feng came over and whispered in her ear, "I think this name is good." Zhang Yuxi's little face instantly blushed and she patted Lin Feng. Lin Feng put the chicks in a paper box and prepared vegetables, water, and chick feed for them. Sanbao touched the yellow chicken carefully and asked, "Dad, when will the ducklings hatch?" "It will take about a week." Sibao asked, "Dad, what color are the ducks? Are they yellow too? Or black?" Lin Feng said, "Dad bought a yellow duck, which is probably yellow too. It should be milky white, like the little cream we eat. Now, there are quails and chickens at home, and the babies can have fun." On this day, it snowed heavily outside. Zhang Fuiong was extremely surprised. "I remember it snowed heavily in Shanghai, and it was 5 years ago. It hasn't snowed heavily for several years." Zhao Lizian nodded and said with some nostalgia. When Yuxi was still young, there is often light to moderate snow in Shanghai, and a thin layer can fall. Zhang Yuxi also missed it. "Husband, have you ever seen heavy snow?" Lin Feng lay in front of the window like the babies, watching the fluttering snowflakes. "I went to the north with my dad once before. After that, I stayed in the south all the time." Sibao couldn't wait to go out and play, hugging Lin Feng's legs. "Dad, Sibao wants to go out and play, can I?" "Dad, Erbao also wants to go out and see the snow." Seeing the baby's expectant looks, Lin Feng certainly wouldn't refuse. This was the first time for the babies to see snow. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi put on coats and shoes for the babies and took them to play in the yard. And Lan called and said excitedly, "Yuxi, did you know? It's snowing." Zhang Yuxi smiled slightly and reached out to catch the falling snowflakes. "I know, I'm in the yard." And Lan sighed and said comfortably, "I'll go back to Yangcheng in a few days. Tell Mr. Lin that I'll come to eat hot pot later. Let him prepare the hot pot." Zhang Yuxi said with a smile, "Let uncles and aunts come too." And Lan seemed to remember something. "By the way, how are the eggs in your house hatching?" "They came out a long time ago. The chicks had already hatched yesterday." After hearing this, Lan clicked her tongue. "You are worthy of being your man." Chapter 288, Visiting a World for Two. At 7 p.m., Lan's family came to eat hot pot. They also brought some vegetables and tripe, fearing that they would not be satisfied if they did not prepare enough. Lin Feng made 3 color noodles for the babies, which he made for the babies himself. They were made by squeezing juice from 3 different fruits and mixing them with noodles. The red one is red dragon fruit, the green one is spinach, and the orange one is carrot. And Lan came over and said, "The colors are pretty. Sanbao, give your godmother a bite, okay?" Sanbao used chopsticks like small clips and trembling hands to pick up a piece for Lan. And Lan tilted her head and slurped it. Delicious. Then she praised Sanbeo for using chopsticks well. These chopsticks are children's chopsticks bought online, the smallest size. They have learned to use them once or twice, and they are not bad, so they can eat by themselves. Sanbeo and Erbeo are very good, picking up and feeding them. The other two, when they are anxious, just put them in their mouths, not afraid of the heat. Those that fell on the bed picked them up and continued to eat. Lin Feng was preparing the ingredients for the hot pot. He looked at the children and thought they were so cute while eating. Seeing that Sibeo had finished eating, Lin Feng poured the dried noodles into a small bowl. Sibeo, remember to drink water. Sibeo held his small cup and drank a sip obediently. The babies were full and played with toys in the small tent. The adults started to eat the hot pot. Zhang Fuiong also asked Zhang Yuxi to bring the wine over so that he and Lan's father could have a drink. Zhang Yuxi also brought a large bottle of soy milk and juice. Lin Feng used a soy milk machine to make the soy milk. He made such a big bottle 5 or 6 times. The juice was also squeezed, but it was not very sweet and a little sour. And Lan's father joked, "Since Lin Feng and Yuxi came, your meals have been much better." Zhao Lizian sighed, "Thank you for the hard work of this child, but I really can't cook." Zhao Lizian could barely make some simple dishes. The Zhang family's father and daughter couldn't do it at all. This hot pot was eaten from 5:30 to 7:30. And Lan's mother and Zhao Lizian were talking in private. Will the relatives from the Zhang family come back for the new year this year? Zhao Lizian said indifferently, "Who knows? Some of them went abroad, some moved, and they don't contact each other much. They haven't been back to Shanghai for many years." This time, Yuxi's father and I didn't mention the new year. And Lan's mother nodded, "What are they doing back?" "They will upset Yuxi." Zhao Lizian nodded, "I think so too." And Lan's mother asked, "Where are you going to play for the new year this year?" Zhao Lizian raised her chin and looked in the direction of Zhang Yuxi. "See what the young people think." And Lan glanced at the movement over there. "Did you see it? My mother must be complaining to your mother again." Zhang Yuxi smiled, "You will be back to Yangcheng in a few days, so let auntie say whatever she wants." And Lan couldn't help complaining, "You don't know how hard I've been at home these days." Zhang Yuxi chuckled, "Why? Do you still want to run away from home?" And Lan chuckled. Zhang Yuxi raised her eyebrows, "What do you want to do?" And Lan nudged Zhang Yuxi with her shoulder, "Let's go out and play, let's go to the hot springs." Zhang Yuxi's heart moved. Winter is the best season for hot springs. In the past, she and Lan would go to the hot springs in winter. If they were too lazy to move, they would go to the hot spring hotel. If they wanted to go farther, they would go to the natural hot spring. At that time, Du Jin was there. Seeing that Zhang Yuxi's heart was moved, and Lan whispered, "Look at Mr. Lin taking care of the children all year round, cooking at home, and cooking when he comes to his mother-in-law's house. You don't feel sorry for him. Take some time to go to the world of two people with Mr. Lin and maintain the relationship between husband and wife. It is said that 3 years of pain and 7 years of itch. Mr. Lin is so outstanding, you can't take it lightly. Give him a little sweetness, and then be a little warm and affectionate to him, so that he can relax too." Zhang Yuxi looked at the busy Lin Feng and felt guilty. "Where do you want to take a hot spring bath? Or go to the previous hotel?" And Lan took out the screenshot saved on her phone. "Let's go here, to the newly opened Natural Hot Spring Resort Hotel. We'll be back in 2 days, and let my mom and your mom look after the babies at home. The hotel is finished, and my mom is too idle to do it, and she scolds me every day. It's just right to find her something to do, and experience the feeling of taking care of grandchildren." Zhang Yuxi frowned. 2 days, the babies will definitely miss us. And Lan. She took a deep breath, "Then let's go to the Hot Spring Hotel, which is in Shanghai, and it takes an hour and a half to drive back and forth. If this doesn't work, then I'll go by myself." Zhang Yuxi had no objection and went to discuss it with Lin Feng. "Husband." Lin Feng was collecting clothes, looked up and asked, "What's wrong?" Zhang Yuxi came over like a little bird. "Husband, you see you work so hard for this family every day. I feel sorry for you." Lin Feng smiled. "It's okay. It was indeed a bit tiring at the beginning. But later, I got used to doing housework and taking care of the children, and I didn't feel tired anymore. Now, I am still happy to do these things. Seeing that you and the baby are taken good care of, I feel a sense of accomplishment." Zhang Yuxi was very moved when she heard Lin Feng's words. "Husband, Why don't we go to the hot springs tomorrow and spend some time alone together? Leave the children to mom and dad for the time being. Lin Feng's eyes lit up, and his eyes swept over Zhang Yuxi, soak in hot springs. Zhang Yuxi, of course, knew what the man was thinking, and said, "Isn't the new year coming soon? I plan to buy some new year gifts for my parents." Lin Feng nodded, okay. The matter was settled. Zhang Yuxi went to explain to Zhao Lizian again. Zhao Lizian frowned. Of course it's better to go to a natural hot spring. Those hot springs in the hotel are all artificially created. You young people should play for a few more days and come back. We adults will take care of the children for you. Even if you don't believe mom, you should always believe your and Lan's mom. She will cook for the child. She patted her daughter's hand. Especially spend more time with Lin Feng. He's been hardworking this past year. Zhang Yuxi couldn't bear to leave her daughter. Zhao Lizian frowned. It's just 2 or 3 days without seeing the child, not 10 days or half a month. What's there to be reluctant about? Besides, the most important thing now is that you spend more time with Lin Feng. Zhang Yuxi felt guilty. She had indeed treated Lin Feng badly in the past year. Between the child and her husband, she chose Lin Feng this time. Zhang Yuxi nodded. I'll listen to mom. Zhao Lizian smiled and asked in a low voice. Yuxi, you've got the certificate, and the children are grown up. When are you going to hold the wedding? Although I'm satisfied with him as a son-in-law, you're also my precious daughter. You can't marry him without a sense of ceremony, without even a wedding, right? Zhang Yuxi knew Zhao Lizian's worries. As parents, they always think more about their children. Mom, he mentioned this to me. He said that the wedding will be held in Michang this summer, and the address is the hotel under his name. Zhao Lizian was relieved to hear her daughter say this. Okay, wedding dresses are beautiful in summer, and it's not cold. There are many places to go for honeymoons. No, in winter, the thick wedding dress in winter can't show my daughter's beauty, and it's too cold for a honeymoon. The mother and daughter talked for a while, and Zhang Yuxi told Lan the good news. Just see Lan chasing after Lan's mother and calling for reports. Mom, Yuxi and I will go to the newly opened hot spring tomorrow. We will be there for 2 or 3 days. Lan's mother was stunned for a moment. Oh, no. Other couples go to the hot spring. Why are you joining in the fun? Lan blinked. No, I'm not joining in the fun. I'm just going to the hot spring. Is that okay? Lan's mother asked. Can't you just let them enjoy their own world? What are you, a big light bulb, doing there? Lan couldn't understand. They are dating theirs, and I'm dating mine. How can I disturb their world of 2 people? Lan's mother pulled her aside. They are eating, drinking and having fun. You said you should take you with you. It's inconvenient. If I don't take you with me, it seems unkind. Lan was speechless. Mom, it's you who dislikes me, but they don't, okay? Lan's mother looked at her. Can you be a little more discerning? Lan reluctantly said, okay. I'll listen to you. Lan's mother was satisfied. In the future, I won't urge you to go on blind dates. You can do whatever you want in the future. This is alright, right? Lan was happy. Really? You're not lying to me. Lan's mother asked back, is this true? You are my daughter's parent. Can you really persuade your daughter to do something? Lan hugged Lan's mother and kissed her on the face happily. Mom, you are so nice. Lan said magnanimously. I sat on the sofa, ate grapes slowly, and said generously. You and Mr. Lin should go to the hot springs, and I won't interfere with your time together. Zhang Yuxi understood Lan. Did your aunt say something to you? Lan shrugged and said, she thinks I have no vision. You 2 are having a time together, and why do you ask me to join in the fun? I think so I won't bother you. It's fun. I heard that the new place is good. I'll go there again when you come back. Chapter 289. The bathroom is locked? Before going to bed, Zhang Yuxi finished telling the babies a story. She told them that she and Lin Feng had something to do tomorrow and would be back in 2 or 3 days. The babies already knew that adults had their own work to do. For example, Zhang Yuxi would go to work. Lin Feng would occasionally go to the study to work, etc. They had no idea of the time they would be apart. They were just worried, were Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng sure they would come back? Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, of course they will come back. This is our home. My babies are all here. Where else can mom go if she doesn't come back here? She hugged the sensitive Sanbao and kissed her little face. Mom will come back to you as soon as she is done with her work. It won't take too long. Sanbao hugged Zhang Yuxi's neck and said softly, "Mom, Sanbao can't bear to see you go." Zhang Yuxi's heart softened and she kissed her. Sanbao's arms were strong, as if he was afraid of losing Zhang Yuxi. "You have to come back soon. Sanbao will cry if she misses her mother. She will be very sad." Zhang Yuxi kissed her daughter fiercely again and promised. "Okay, Mom will definitely come back soon, believe me." Sanbao nodded, "Believe me." Bao, who was playing, also came over to kiss. Zhang Yuxi hugged her and said, "Mom and Dad will go out to do something tomorrow. Bao has to be good at home, okay?" Bao tilted her head and asked, "What are you going to do?" Zhang Yuxi pretended to think about it, with a serious expression. "It's very important. Isn't it very important to maintain the relationship between husband and wife?" Bao came over and said loudly, "Mom, you and Dad have to come back early. Bao is waiting for you at home." Zhang Yuxi nodded, "Okay." Sibao was playing his Ultraman game. Not sad at all. He was also looking forward to Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi bringing him toys when they came back. At the end, he said, "Mom and Dad come back early." The next day, Lin Feng prepared breakfast for the babies before they woke up. With Zhang Yuxi and the luggage that had been collected last night, I took the earliest bus. When I arrived at the station, the hotel had a pickup service and had been waiting at the station. "Excuse me, are you Mr. and Mrs. Lin?" Lin Feng held Zhang Yuxi's hand in one hand and the suitcase in the other. "It's us. I'm Xiao Chen, I'll be the one to greet you too." The staff took the suitcase from Lin Feng. "Come with me, the parking lot is over here." About half an hour later, we arrived at the hot spring hotel. Because it was winter, there were quite a few people coming. Lin Feng grabbed a super deluxe king-size bedroom. The service fee plus the accommodation fee was nearly 1,500 yuan per night, and there was a private hot spring inside. You don't have to go to the big pool with others. Lin Feng went to the front desk to register, and after checking in, he got the room card. The couple took the elevator to the top floor. I don't know why, but Zhang Yuxi was so happy and excited. Perhaps, although she and Lin Feng are already an old couple and are also parents of 4 children, they rarely have a world of 2 to enjoy life slowly. Lin Feng looked at her and smiled. The room was very big and luxuriously decorated. The hot spring pool in the corner of the room was as big as the 1.8-meter bed and was still steaming. On the balcony, he opened the French window and saw a balcony outside. In the distance, the mountains were covered with mist and a layer of snow could be seen. Below were several hot spring pools, all of which were beautifully decorated. Someone was already soaking in them so early. It was steaming and hard to see clearly. Lin Feng turned on the air conditioner and began to pack his suitcase. They only brought a few coats and a set of clothes to change this time. "Honey, come in and take off your coat." Zhang Yuxi closed the window, threw herself heavily on the bed, and looked at Lin Feng with a smile. Lin Feng also smiled. "Are you hungry?" She thought about it, a little. There was a menu on the bedside table, and they could deliver the food to the room. "Honey, what do you want to eat? As long as it's not strong, it's fine." Lin Feng called the number given above. The other party promised that it would be delivered within half an hour. Lin Feng was sitting on the sofa, and Zhang Yuxi was lying with her head on his legs. Lin Feng was reading the hotel introduction. "Hubby, I'm already missing the babies now. Do you think they are awake now?" "Awake? Tell me. When they wake up and find us missing, will they look for us? Will they cry?" Lin Feng sighed, lowered his head and kissed her. "Since we are out here to have fun, let's leave the babies behind. Trust Mom and them to take good care of the babies." Zhang Yuxi turned around and looked at him. "Hubby, will you miss them?" Lin Feng was surprised. "Yes. But I know these 2 days belong to us." As he was talking, someone knocked on the door. It should be someone coming to deliver the meal. Zhang Yuxi was surprised. So soon? Lin Feng got up to open the door, and saw the staff pushing the dining cart in. The meal was placed on the table. "Enjoy your meal, both of you. Please call us when you need to clean up the dishes, thank you." After the staff left, Zhang Yuxi couldn't wait to open the lid. The portion was quite large, and the color looked nice. "I just don't know how it tastes." Lin Feng said, "We've finished eating, let's go downstairs for a walk." Zhang Yuxi nodded, "Okay." I don't know if it was a psychological effect on her. Although the food outside was delicious, she always felt that it was not as delicious as her husband's. After the couple had eaten, Lin Feng called and asked the staff to clean up the tableware. In less than 10 minutes, the staff came. Their efficiency is still quite high. Lin Feng took Zhang Yuxi's hand. Let's go for a walk. The hotel has guest rooms, restaurants, lounges, KTV, conference rooms, hot spring pools, massages, chess and mahjong, etc. There are hot spring pools outdoors, and there are also hot spring pools separated by men and women indoors. Rooms at Lin Feng's price have their own private hot springs. Lin Feng held her hand and passed by the lobby. He saw many people checking in. After the couple walked around, Lin Feng went there with Lin Dashan and his wife when he was in middle school, and it has been more than 10 years since he last took a bath. So the environment here is not bad for the same hotel. Zhang Yuxi has been to hot spring hotels many times and is very satisfied with it. Back in the room, the couple looked at each other in tacit understanding. Lin Feng closed the curtain without saying a word. Zhang Yuxi went to the bathroom. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows and knocked on the bathroom door. Wife, you didn't bring the shower gel, do you want me to bring it in? No response. Then I'll come in. It's locked. Locked. The design of this hotel is very confusing. All rooms have king-size beds, but there is a lock on the bathroom door. What does that mean? Chapter 290 Lin Feng is a bad guy. Lin Feng shook his head, a little speechless. It was just right to take this opportunity to call back and ask about the babies. Zhao Lizian smiled and said, you and Yuxi have fun, the children have us. Lin Feng could hear the babies' voices from the phone. He could also hear the chickens' voices, probably playing with the chickens again. Did they ask about us? Zhao Lizian smiled and said, I asked you when I just woke up, but I haven't mentioned it again since then. Children's thoughts change from time to time, and they forget about it while playing. Lin Feng hung up the phone, and Zhang Yuxi came out wearing her own pajamas. While wiping her hair, she asked, honey, who did you call just now? Lin Feng walked over and took the towel from her hand. Call mom to ask about the children. They said they mentioned us when they got up in the morning, but now they are having fun and forgetting everything else. Zhang Yuxi could hear the sour taste in Lin Feng's mouth. He's just a kid, don't bother with him. Maybe he'll come crying and looking for us soon. Lin Feng looked at her, I'm such a grown-up, why should I bother with him? If I have to bother with you, I'll bother with you. Zhang Yuxi was surprised, why bother with me? Lin Feng narrowed his eyes slightly, revealing a bit of danger. There are only you and me in this room, why did you lock the bathroom door? Zhang Yuxi hesitated, I was careless. Lin Feng looked at her carefully and said nothing more. Zhang Yuxi saw that Lin Feng's expression was unchanged, and asked tentatively, honey, are you angry? No. Zhang Yuxi believed it. Then Lin Feng took a shower and the two went to soak in the hot spring. Zhang Yuxi was still quite shy, but Lin Feng looked at her gently and waved at her. Yuxi, come down. Honey, can you stop smiling like that? It looks a bit like a big bad wolf. Lin Feng. Yes, she is a little sheep. Lin Feng gave Zhang Yuxi a lot of ideological guidance. Finally, Zhang Yuxi mustered up her courage. It was unknown how long it took before she woke up. She asked in a hoarse voice, honey, what time is it now? Lin Feng hugged her and checked the time, 5:30. Zhang Yuxi was shocked, 5:30. I slept for so long. Lin Feng tidied up and got up from the bed. Do you want us to go to the cafeteria for dinner? Zhang Yuxi grumbled, I don't want to move my husband. After thinking about it, she punched the culprit in front of her. It's all your fault. Why do you blame me? Zhang Yuxi is smart now and won't fall into this kind of text trap. With a snort, I'm ignoring you. The two of them stayed together for a while. Lin Feng asked casually, honey, why did you lock the door? Zhang Yuxi was shocked for the third time. Honey, are you still struggling with this problem? There was a little sadness between Lin Feng's eyebrows. Because I can't understand why my lovely and beautiful wife would find excuses to evade me. It's not a big problem, right? Or does my wife have some little secrets that she won't tell me? Zhang Yuxi quickly explained, honey, it's because I have to go to the bathroom. Lin Feng was slightly surprised. Toilet. Zhang Yuxi was a little shy. I felt a little uncomfortable in my stomach, so I didn't think much about it and locked the door. And don't I always do this at home? Maybe it's a habit that's hard to change. Lin Feng suddenly realized, I think too much? Zhang Yuxi was a little speechless. I really think too much? This time when she went to the bathroom, Zhang Yuxi didn't lock the door. And she finally knew. Why is Lin Feng so entangled? In fact, he is not entangled, but he cares about this. The original schedule was more than 6 o'clock, but now he can only go out at 8 o'clock. Zhang Yuxi dragged her tired body and followed Lin Feng, her legs trembling as she walked. The restaurant is a buffet. It is filled with a variety of specialties. Lin Feng sat down and leaned back on the chair to recover. An auntie came over and asked with concern, "Little girl? Are you okay? Did you feel uncomfortable because you soaked for too long?" Facing this enthusiastic auntie, she could only choose to lie. "It was a little long. Sit for a while and eat something later." "Thank you for your concern, auntie." The auntie nodded. "Be more careful next time. If you feel uncomfortable, don't soak." Zhang Yuxi said him obediently. What else can she say? Lin Feng came back with a plate. "What did you talk about?" Zhang Yuxi laughed and said nothing angrily. When Erbao was angry, he was very similar to her. Then Zhang Yuxi ignored Lin Feng, and Lin Feng sat down and coaxed him softly. He was good at coaxing babies. Lin Feng coaxed her, "Wife, don't be angry, okay? This time I didn't control myself, I won't next time, don't be angry, dear." Lin Feng said so she couldn't keep harping on this issue. Besides, Lin Feng was only in his 20s and full of blood. Because there are children, there is no private space. And since it is a world of two people, some things are inevitable. The more Zhang Yuxi thought about it, the more she felt that she was too serious. As a wife, she should learn to think from Lin Feng's perspective. Zhang Yuxi shook her head, "Don't be angry." Seeing that Zhang Yuxi was not angry, Lin Feng smiled, "Come, try this, it seems to be good." After dinner, Lin Feng took Zhang Yuxi's hand and walked in the hotel. They have a private KTV here, and a small singing bar in the lounge. It is the kind that can accommodate two people and can scan the code to pay for songs. The sound insulation effect is super good. Seeing that there are many empty ones, Lin Feng took Zhang Yuxi in. "Come, let's sing a few songs." Lin Feng scanned for 15 minutes, and the couple put on headphones and picked up the microphone. The last time they sang duets was in Micheng. It feels like a long time ago. Lin Feng knows many languages, so he can easily control many songs. Zhang Yuxi is an entry-level singer, so singing is enough for her. Old songs, current pop songs, and children's songs. She sang most of the songs she knew in the playlist. The smiles on the couple's faces never left, and they looked at each other affectionately. After the end, they were still reluctant to leave, and sang for another 10 minutes. Coming out of the KTV box, the two of them became lively. Going to the activity room, the two of them played with various equipment. Most of the time, it was Zhang Yuxi who was going crazy, like a child who never grew up. Lin Feng was watching her laugh and make noise. After playing for a while, Zhang Yuxi lay on the bed and fell asleep. In the middle of the night, the two of them had an in-depth exchange, which made Zhang Yuxi very upset. In a daze, Zhang Yuxi seemed to cry. She called Lin Feng a bad guy. A very, very bad guy. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 291. Someone is thinking about my husband. The next day, around noon, when Zhang Yuxi woke up, she heard Lin Feng and the babies on a video call. The ones talking were Dabao and Sebao. "Mom is sleeping." "Yes, Mom is working hard." "Are the babies good at home?" "Okay, Mom and Dad will be back soon and bring gifts for the babies, okay? Now go eat, Grandma is calling you, remember to take a nap after eating. Bye, goodbye. Love you, heart." Zhang Yuxi was about to say something, but Lin Feng had already hung up the phone. "Are you up?" Lin Feng sat on the bed and asked, "Do we want to stay one more night tonight?" Zhang Yuxi yawned. "Husband, decide for yourself." Lin Feng thought for a while. "I searched on my phone and found that there is a large shopping mall near the station, with mid-range and high-end products. Let's go there to buy New Year gifts for my parents. If we have enough time, we will go back. If we don't have enough time, we will find a hotel to stay one night and go back early the next morning." Zhang Yuxi thought this itinerary was pretty good. The couple ordered lunch. The buffet is not as delicious as the one cooked in the kitchen. After eating, they went to check out. The hotel has a pickup service, but they have to wait 10 minutes and go to the station with another couple. The driver told them after Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi were already in the car. But it is understandable, just like carpooling. The other couple is about the same age as Lin Feng. The man is handsome, and the woman has a face similar to that of a current internet celebrity, and she is very fashionable. When they saw Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng, they were amazed and shocked. I didn't expect that the other party was so beautiful and had such a unique temperament. The woman sat next to Lin Feng and couldn't help but look at them. The man sitting in the co-pilot looked at them through the mirror and happened to look at Lin Feng. The car was full, so the driver drove away. The woman lifted her hair and took off her coat. She was wearing very thin clothes inside. Naturally, Lin Feng hugged Zhang Yuxi and asked softly, "Do you want to sleep on my shoulder for a while?" Zhang Yuxi shook her head and focused her attention on the woman next to her. She had to admit that the woman next to Lin Feng was beautiful. The facial features are very three-dimensional. The makeup is clean and she is also a master of makeup. As for the figure, it is also very good. There are so many places outside. Why do you have to sit so close to your husband? What is your intention? Women all have their own intuition. She knows that her husband is being thought of by someone. How can she sleep? The other party noticed Zhang Yuxi's gaze and looked over with her hair lifted. But she saw that the beautiful eyes burst out with a cold gaze, which made her shiver. Alice, the aura of other people's girlfriends is too strong. She should give up that idea. The first to speak was the man sitting in the co-pilot. He smiled and asked, "Brother, what do you think of this hotel?" Lin Feng replied lightly, "Not bad. How many days did you stay?" 2 days. Most of the time, it was the man in the co-pilot who took the initiative to chat. Occasionally, his female companion would talk, and most of Lin Feng did not say anything. The driver smiled and said, "Shimeo department store is just ahead, you all get off here." After getting off the car, the woman took the initiative to talk to Zhang Yuxi. "Excuse me, what brand of perfume do you use? Can you recommend it to me?" Zhang Yuxi was stunned for a moment. "Sorry, I don't wear perfume." The woman quickly explained, "No, it's your boyfriend's perfume. Men who pay attention to the quality of life will also wear perfume." The perfume she smelled was the most special and she remembered it vividly. Zhang Yuxi didn't know the source of the perfume on Lin Feng. She smiled slightly, and was instantly stunning. "My boyfriend's perfume is made by himself, and it is not sold outside." The woman could still feel the hostility from Zhang Yuxi. She smiled disappointedly. "Is that so?" Lin Feng came over with his luggage at this time and found that his wife was not cute anymore. The whole person's aura was 2 meters and 8. Well, Lin Feng was thoughtful. In fact, in a place where Zhang Yuxi couldn't see. This woman was teasing herself intentionally or unintentionally. For example, when talking, her body movements deliberately touched herself. When she lifted her hair, she would lift this half of her face. The foot that was crossed would rub against her legs from time to time. There was also her smile to herself, and the WeChat personal business card interface that she gave her intentionally or unintentionally when she took out her phone. He is a man. How could he not understand her various hints to him? I have to sigh. This woman is really an expert. And his wife is also an expert. She has been nestling in his arms, and I haven't seen her move, so I thought she didn't notice. Now it seems that his wife is a smart person. Could this be a woman's sixth sense? He stretched out his long arms and took his wife in a fighting state into his arms. "Let's go, wife. Go back quickly after buying gifts, the babies miss us." He didn't look at the woman the whole time. The beauty was left deep in her heart, sighing with regret. Damn, such a handsome man, but he didn't flirt with her. It's not that I'm too weak, it's that the other party's rear is too strong, and I'm not a match at all. The man who was traveling with him looked at Zhang Yuxi's back, and he felt sorry for it. The woman jokingly asked, "What? Are you interested in her?" The man smiled and said, "I think you are interested in her." The woman acted coquettishly, "No way, no matter how handsome he is, he loves you the most, okay?" The man smiled and hugged the woman and walked into the mall. "What do you want to buy this time?" "Bags, you know I like LV bags the most. Because it's close to the new year, the shopping malls are decorated and look festive. It's inconvenient to carry the suitcase, and I didn't see a place to store it after searching for a long time. I had to use the supermarket on the first floor to store it temporarily." Now, Lin Feng suddenly felt empty-handed. "Wife, what does mom like?" "She likes to buy jade bracelets, although she doesn't wear them often." But she likes to buy these things, saying that they look transparent and beautiful and comfortable. What about Dad? Dad likes to collect, and he likes all kinds of interesting things. It seems that he doesn't like anything in particular. Lin Feng took her hand. Let's go, let's look and shop, and buy what we find suitable. The layout of most shopping malls is almost the same now. The couple walked through each floor. It seems that they can't go back tonight, and they have to take the early bus tomorrow. The top floor is full of luxury goods such as clothes, shoes, hats, bags, and extremely luxurious jewelry. The most advanced security systems are installed here. And the sales ladies here are very beautiful, comparable to flight attendants. Lin Feng took Zhang Yuxi to the second floor and walked into a women's clothing store. He couldn't help his mother-in-law choose clothes. He could only sit aside and read magazines, waiting for Zhang Yuxi to choose. Another sales lady in the store brought a glass of water. Sir, your water. Thank you. Melon seeds, chewing gum, etc. were also prepared on the coffee table. Zhao Lizian only needs one size. Zhang Yuxi chose in the store for a long time and finally chose 2 sets of clothes. This is one of the brands that Zhao Lizian likes to wear. Lin Feng paid by swiping his card. In the past, people usually paid by scanning the code, but later the app made some adjustments. The amount required is own authentication. After a lot of operations, it would be more convenient to pay with a credit card. One swipe, one signature, and it was done. Lin Feng held the shopping bag in one hand and held his wife's hand in the other, swinging it back and forth. Chapter 292, Meet my high school ex-girlfriend by chance. Honey, these 2 clothes. One is my mother's, and the other is your mother's. Because Zhao Lizian is a little fat, she bought a larger size. She went shopping with Zhao Lizian before, so she knew her size. To be honest, she still likes to buy clothes for mom and dad. In the past, mother and daughter often went shopping for clothes. Moreover, she likes to see their smiles when they receive gifts, which makes her feel very happy. When passing by a men's clothing store, Zhang Yuxi was attracted by the coat on the male model in the window. When she saw this coat, she instantly imagined what Lin Feng would look like wearing it. He must be so handsome. Zhang Yuxi pulled him and walked into the store excitedly. She said to the sales clerk who came up to her, I want a men's woolen coat outside the window to take out. This is a pure black men's coat, and the style is a bit similar to the print style. But the design is very rigorous, and the print style is not boldly reflected. The performance is still very restrained. This kind of clothes must be worn by men with good figures. Anyone who has a hunchback, or whose head is tilted forward, or who is short or fat, can't wear this kind of clothes to show their highlights. As she expected, after Lin Feng put on the clothes, Zhang Yuxi's legs became weak. She screamed like a groundhog in her heart. Oh my god, such a handsome man is actually her husband. How could she have such a handsome man? Wow, it's so happy to have such a handsome man all to herself. The sales ladies, on the other hand, were completely different from Zhang Yuxi. Wow, why isn't such a man her husband? Why is he so handsome? I said, those who said that the try-on effect was not good, it was all their own fault. For such a man, they don't care whether he has a family or a wife. They are willing to do anything to be with such a man. Lin Feng smiled with satisfaction. My wife has good taste. This smile. The sales ladies were completely addicted to it and couldn't extricate themselves. Zhang Yuxi immediately decided to buy 2 sets for Lin Feng to change. Lin Feng took out a black gold card. They couldn't help crying again, shedding sour lemon tears. Good-looking, rich, and gentle. They really wanted to ask Zhang Yuxi, where can you find such a man? Even if they are not as good-looking as Zhang Yuxi, they will lower their requirements, as long as he has this face. It doesn't matter whether he has money or not, the key is the face. Looking at his wife's obsessed look, Lin Feng's vanity was greatly satisfied. Husband, I will take care of your clothes in the future, and I will buy everything. Lin Feng had no objection, and Zhang Yuxi had a good eye. The 2 models bought during the last Chinese New Year were both his favorites. And this one, after he put it on, he was indeed much more handsome. Passing by a jade shop, Lin Feng asked, do you want to buy a jade bracelet for your mother? Zhang Yuxi shook her head, forget it, jade bracelets should be bought by people who know the goods. For laymen like us to buy it, we will only be cheated. It's better to let her buy it herself. Here, Zhang Yuxi mentioned the trivial matter of buying jade in the past. My mother had a birthday. I knew she liked jade, So I spent 5,000 yuan to buy my trail Buddha. My mother took a look and said it was about 1 or 200 yuan at most. At this point, Zhang Yuxi couldn't help but sneer. Then my mother took me to the store and pretended to be ignorant and asked about how good the jade I bought was and how transparent it was. After she finished talking, my mother started to criticize her and left her speechless. In the end, she even turned around and accused us of looking for trouble. At that time, my mother was still a person of status. When she moved out, the other party said nothing and refunded the money. In today's society, there are countless people who bully the weak and fear the strong, and look down on others. Lin Feng asked, "What should I buy?" Zhang Yuxi thought for a while. "Let's buy a bag. My mother likes Prada." Two mothers, one for each. Turning a corner, there were 2 rows of LV, Prada and other stores. Because Zhao Lizhen prefers Prada, Zhang Yuxi knows about this brand. She also knows what style Zhao Lizhen likes. After entering the store, a beautiful lady came to greet them immediately. Zhang Yuxi took a quick look and selected 3 bags. "Miss, you have a good eye. These are the new models for this autumn and winter." After comparing the 3 bags, Zhang Yuxi chose one with a slightly brighter color. "Give me 2 of this style." The lady's eyes flashed with surprise, and she smiled and said, "Okay, please pay here." After paying, the 2 left. The lady who just received Lin Feng discussed Lin Feng privately. "Did you see the one I just received? So handsome, more handsome than a big star. I saw it, and his wife is so beautiful, with a great temperament. Just like a model. The 2 of them are together, they are a perfect match." He just swiped a black gold credit card, right? Yes. They have seen many rich men come here to buy bags. But they have never seen such a handsome one. Thinking back to Lin Feng's face and figure, they can't help but be fascinated. Next to Prada is LV. Zhang Yuxi thought of An Lan saying that there are many new models this year, all of which are very beautiful. Since I'm here, I'll take a look. Although Zhang Yuxi grew up in a wealthy family, she didn't develop a competitive mentality. When she grew up, she didn't have a special obsession with luxury goods, and she would buy them if she thought they were suitable. In the past, I didn't look at the price of the things I like to buy. I bought a piece of clothing for 19.9 yuan, and I also bought it for 99,000 yuan. I have no concept of money, only likes and dislikes. Even now, her husband is very rich and enough for her to spend, and this idea has not changed. But after becoming a mother, although she didn't learn to be thrifty, she didn't spend money indiscriminately. Moreover, Raymond Lam has always been very supportive of her shopping. No matter what she buys, as long as she likes it. I never expected that there would be a very familiar person walking towards me. It turned out to be Raymond Lam's ex-girlfriend Wang Yao. She was wearing the clothes of a sales lady, with delicate makeup and a very polite smile. At first glance, Raymond Lam didn't recognize her. Wang Yao looked at the handsome man in front of her and liked him very much. Oh my god, how happy I would be if I had such a boyfriend. So handsome and in such a good figure. As soon as Lin Feng walked in, Wang Yao, who was obsessed with looks, had her eyes fixed on Lin Feng. No matter how she looked at this face, it was very familiar. Lin Feng at this time had changed a lot. She hadn't seen Lin Feng for many years, so naturally she couldn't remember him. Perhaps, to her, Lin Feng at the time was just a poor high school student who couldn't support himself at all. After graduating from college, he had to work in a bar turned tuition for college. So at that time, she chose to dump Lin Feng. While she was still young, she would find a rich man. But at this time, the more she looked, the more surprised she was. The 2 faces overlapped and pieced together to form a person. Lin Feng is handsome, but how can he be so handsome? Or is there something wrong with her memory? Wang Yao was a little uncertain, and didn't dare to ask rashly, so she could only ask in a low voice. "Are you Lin Feng?" Chapter 293 Shameless Green Tea. After entering the store, Lin Feng followed Zhang Yuxi and didn't notice Wang Yao beside him at all. In fact, he didn't even look at her. How could he notice that she was Wang Yao? Hearing Wang Yao's words, he felt that the voice was somewhat familiar. Turning around, he was a little surprised and shocked. Because of this surprise, Wang Yao knew that she had recognized the right person. She was suddenly filled with mixed feelings, and for a moment, she was only shocked. She opened her mouth wide. "It's really you. How did you become so handsome?" She was regretting it now. Oh my god, Lin Feng is so handsome. Exclamation mark. Lin Feng also recognized the person, Wang Yao. Zhang Yuxi's radar sounded immediately. Zhang Yuxi can be indifferent to all female names, but she is particularly sensitive to Wang Yao. She turned around and saw that both of them had somewhat stunned expressions, and she understood everything. This person is indeed Wang Yao. Exclamation mark. The woman who disliked her husband and dumped her husband who was so good, right? Lin Feng had told her before that he had a girlfriend in high school. But after graduation, he dumped her. If Lin Feng hadn't been dumped, he wouldn't have had anything to do with Zhang Yuxi afterwards. But she was still so angry. Her husband was so good, so outstanding. Was she blind? Look at the makeup, it was so ugly. In fact, she didn't look good, at most she was okay. She was not on the same level as me, okay? Zhang Yuxi was curious about her husband's ex-girlfriend like any other woman. She wanted to see her true face before she would give up. At the beginning, she was thinking, what kind of woman who could date such an outstanding man, who could be so shameless, must she look like? Maybe, she was prettier than me. Today, I finally solved her doubts. What a beautiful woman. In this moment of lightning and flint, Zhang Yuxi thought too much, but her face was expressionless. She saw Wang Yao's regret, surprise, and surprise. She smiled in her heart, because she was standing right in front of her. Is she blind? Zhang Yuxi took Lin Feng's hand and instantly turned on the fighting mode, with an aura of 2 meters and 8. Husband, do you know each other? Wang Yao noticed Zhang Yuxi's existence and was shocked again. Are you married? Lin Feng nodded, hugged Zhang Yuxi and said sweetly. Well, this is my wife Zhang Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi looked like a little bird in Lin Feng's arms. But when she looked at Wang Yao again, her expression was cold and kept people away from her. The words she said were even colder. Hello. Wang Yao felt Zhang Yuxi's hostility towards her and the strong aura that came over her. You know, Zhang Yuxi can not only perfectly interpret what a beauty on ice is. Her family and her education are all her capital. Lin Feng glanced at Zhang Yuxi, but he did not forget what Zhang Yuxi said before. If they meet, they must tear up an ex-girlfriend. This is Wang Yao, a friend. Wang Yao's thoughts are clear. She thinks that the more hostile Zhang Yuxi is to her, does it mean that she still has a place in Lin Feng's heart? When she was about to reveal her identity as his ex-girlfriend, Zhang Yuxi spoke faster than her. Oh, so you are the shameless green tea who despises the poor and loves the rich. Zhang Yuxi's words made Lin Feng feel like he had seen a ghost. After being married for many years, he had never seen his wife scolding people. She had always been elegant and calm. Well, now she scolds people in an elegant and calm manner. But it really shocked him. Even Wang Yao was startled. You know, Zhang Yuxi's voice was not small, and everyone around heard it. Everyone looked over, as if there was something interesting to watch. Zhang Yuxi's sharp eyes probably looked Wang Yao up and down. She could recite Wang Yao's words word for word. You said my husband is a poor loser, with nothing else to look good except this face, right? He can't buy you LV, Gucci, or Chanel, right? He can't let you cry in a Ferrari, right? And he can't take you on a trip abroad, right? You also said that what you want is not love, but money and a luxurious life. Zhang Yuxi almost gritted her teeth when she said the last sentence. You said you don't care about my husband's love, take it and get out of here as far as you can. Really? The people around looked at Wang Yao in horror. Damn, is this woman blind? Or is there something wrong with her brain? She let go of such a handsome man and insisted on looking for a rich man. The key is, he doesn't lack money. It's too much to say that. No, it's shameless to say that. Every time Zhang Yuxi said a word, her momentum became stronger. Wang Yao was shocked and couldn't find anything to say. She did say that at the beginning. But the key is that Lin Feng didn't seem to have any money at that time. Zhang Yuxi tilted her head, and the style of painting suddenly changed. She smiled with a spring breeze on her face, which amazed everyone. Actually, I don't judge you for pursuing a luxurious life. After all, everyone has the right to choose a different life. You and my husband are both in the past. He was blind at the beginning, and thank you for leaving him. Otherwise, how could I have the luck to meet such a good man? Then, she said slowly with an extremely sarcastic tone. However, don't take yourself too seriously. Weigh your own weight, and don't treat those rich men as fools. Men who can make money don't care about people like you, because they have brains. Men who can't make money are just spending the family's money and playing with people like you. After returning home, you still have to listen to your parents who provide you with food and clothing. You've caught a lonely person. This road is not easy to walk. If you don't have a pretty face, a good figure, or an education, don't be wishful thinking. These words made some women present extremely embarrassed. If it weren't for Zhang Yuxi's previous words, just taking the latter words alone, someone would definitely jump out. Wang Yao pursed her lips and was embarrassed by Zhang Yuxi. In the eyes of outsiders, she and Zhang Yuxi are simply incomparable. Wang Yao is the kind of woman with a little bit of beauty. Looking around, there are women everywhere on the street. And Zhang Yuxi is the most beautiful woman in the world, a top-notch beauty. Look at Lin Feng again, he is like a prince with a noble temperament, and his appearance is so much better than the popular young handsome men. This comparison, coupled with Wang Yao's previous words and deeds, everyone pointed fingers at her in an instant. Especially a few women, they were so angry that it affected their business. But at the same time, she also warned herself. When looking at men, you must open your eyes and don't be too ambitious. Chapter 294 Lin Feng, you have a child? At this time, the store manager came over and asked Wang Yao to go down quickly. Zhang Yuxi said lightly, no, I want her to serve me. By the way, I want to close the store for service. Everyone took a breath, and even Wang Yao's face changed. The store manager was stunned for a moment, and said with a smile, please show your membership. Zhang Yuxi reported her name, and they were checking over there. The store manager took a look, and the other party nodded at her. Immediately, the store manager said apologetically to other customers who were shopping. Sorry, our store is going to close the store for service. Everyone cast envious eyes and had to leave. Imagine the fighting scenes in various TV dramas. And Lan contributed to Zhang Yuxi's change. This girl thought that F country was very romantic. So she learned F language and went to this country for a trip, hoping to have a romantic encounter. There was also a period of time when she was crazy about LV, and Zhang Yuxi was also recommended by her. She bought and bought crazily, and then her bags, limited edition classic models, were all used by Lan's mother. I was quite happy using it, and suddenly felt that I had the same appreciation level as young people. After closing the store, Zhang Yuxi sat on the sofa, like a queen. When she turned to look at Lin Feng, her expression was gentle, and she said in a coquettish tone, honey, I have to trouble you to wait for me for a while. Lin Feng said that he didn't mind, don't be in a hurry, take your time to look, and buy it if you like it. Zhang Yuxi smiled slightly, retracted her gaze, and said to Wang Yao lightly, bring this year's new models here, let me see them. Wang Yao bit her lip, dared not to be angry. Yes. Zhang Yuxi's membership level was here, so she didn't dare to neglect it. She said elegantly, prepare me a glass of red wine, thank you. Someone immediately went to prepare it. Zhang Yuxi shook the red wine glass elegantly, and listened to Wang Yao's introduction to her expressionlessly. Zhang Yuxi frowned. I say, Miss Wang, your professional knowledge is not strong. Didn't you say that you like LV the most? Why are you introducing a bag incoherently? Wang Yao thought Zhang Yuxi was deliberately making things difficult for her. With a fake smile, she asked, excuse me, what's wrong with what I said? The store manager glared at her and said, how can you talk to customers like that? As a store manager, of course he knew that Wang Yao was not very professional. She had just arrived not long ago. The next second, Zhang Yuxi slapped Wang Yao in the face with her professional knowledge. She blushed and glared at Zhang Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi's face suddenly sank. What do you mean? Are you showing disrespect to customers? Wang Yao was about to say something when the store manager pulled her back. The store manager kept apologizing to Zhang Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi waved her hand, forget it, let her watch from the side, and let someone more professional introduce it. The store manager quickly asked Wang Yao to stay aside and not make trouble. Really, it's disgusting. As soon as this person opened her mouth, you knew she was a professional. Zhang Yuxi was very satisfied and bought 4 bags. One for Zhao Lizhan, one for Zhao Lizhan, and the remaining 2 for Lan and her daughter. Raymond Lam took a fancy to very cute small bag and motioned for the other party to bring it over for a look. Wife, do you like this? I think it suits you. Zhang Yuxi took it and looked at it, then said with a smile, honey, you have a good eye, I like this. The store manager beside him quickly said that this was a limited edition. Because their store had good performance, they got such a piece. Of course, the price was also very attractive. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, "Pack this for me too." The store manager smiled and did it himself. Although the store mainly packs bags, there are also some matching jewelry and accessories. At this time, Lin Feng called. It was Zhao Lizian who called. "Mom." "Well, Yuxi and I will probably go back tomorrow." "Yes." "Sibeo, you miss Daddy. Dad and Mom will go back tomorrow. You have to be good at home." "I know, Dad will definitely bring you gifts." "Sambeo? Be good, don't cry, sleep at night, and you can see Mom and Dad when you wake up in the morning. Be good, don't cry, Dad kiss you." "Ah, you want to find Mom? Okay, I'll give the phone to Mom." Only then did they know. It turns out that they are not only boyfriend and girlfriend, but they even have a child. Wang Yao was stunned. During the Chinese New Year, she had asked about Lin Feng and Mi Chen. Because she had not contacted her old classmates, few people knew about his situation. At that time, she was still thinking that he must have done badly. Now, he is not only rich, but also married a goddess-level wife who is as beautiful as a fairy. He even had a child. In the video, a baby who is so beautiful that it explodes is wiping tears. It is simply a fairy crying, which makes people's hearts break. Sanbeo wiped tears and asked, "Mom, when will you and Dad come back? Sanbeo misses you so much." Zhang Yuxi said softly, "Sanbeo, don't cry, Mom and Dad will be back tonight." Sanbeo had tears on her face, but Dad said that he can only go back tomorrow. Lin Feng comforted his baby daughter, "It's okay, Dad will go buy a car and drive back later, okay?" Sanbeo smiled, then Sanbeo will wait for Mom and Dad at home. Then, he turned his head and said, "Mom and Dad said they will be back tonight." All of them gathered around. Sibeo rushed to say, "Dad, don't forget to buy me Ultraman, give me a heart." Erbeo said sweetly, "Erbeo doesn't want anything, I'll be the happiest when Mom and Dad come back." Dabeo squeezed in, "Dad, Mom, Dabeo wants Transformers. I'm waiting for Mom and Dad." Zhang Yuxi was sweet and moved, "Yeah, Mom and Dad will be home tonight." Sanbeo took the phone. They still love the sister very much? They didn't fight with Sanbeo for the phone. Sanbeo asked, "Mom, what is a hot spring? I heard from Godmother that you went to play." Zhang Yuxi immediately frowned, "Don't listen to Godmother's nonsense, Mom and Dad are busy with work." "Okay, I won't talk to you anymore, Mom has something to do here." "Okay, goodbye Mom, goodbye Dad. Goodbye baby." 4 babies? They were all shocked. 4 children appeared on the screen, and they were quadruplets at a glance. They were all so cute and beautiful. This woman is simply a winner in life. Zhang Yuxi hung up the phone and said anxiously, "Honey, let's buy it and leave quickly, the children are waiting anxiously." Lin Feng thought so too. Wang Yao asked Lin Feng in a lost mood, as if unable to accept the fact in front of her. The man she dumped at the beginning could be so happy. Why? If she had known earlier, she would never break up. Then she could also have such happiness, right? "Lin Feng, you are married. And, you have children." Zhang Yuxi raised her eyebrows and heard the deep meaning of this sentence. "What, you think you have a chance without getting married and having children? Dreaming!" Exclamation mark. Chapter 295 Green Tea. Zhang Yuxi stared at Wang Yao. Her eyes seemed to be able to see through all her thoughts. "Yes, we are married. And we have 4 cute babies." The tone seemed to say, "Little guy, do you think you still have a chance?" Seeing his wife rushing to answer, Lin Feng handed the credit card to the store manager. Wang Yao looked at the black card and was so jealous that she was about to have stomach acid vomiting. She looked disappointed, but still pretended to smile. "Congratulations, Lin Feng. I'm really sorry for what happened back then. I said so many hurtful words. I hope you don't mind. Actually, those were not my original intentions." She hesitated, her eyes were red, and she said aggrievedly, "You know my family conditions are not good. So I have always wanted my parents to live a good life. Actually, over the years, every time I think of our breakup, I feel very, very uncomfortable. I really regret saying those words. I have always wanted to say sorry to you in person, and hope to get your forgiveness." If she hadn't been well educated, Zhang Yuxi would definitely be furious now. This is simply the true nature of green tea. Look at the red eyes, look at the touching expression, as if she is so wronged. To outsiders, these words do sound like an apology. But in essence, It is just to ease the relationship between the two. Maybe she wants to take advantage of it in the future. Many men don't have the delicate thoughts of women, so they can't tell the difference between green tea. Zhang Yuxi looked at Lin Feng. She couldn't intervene in this topic, thinking about what her husband would say. She was actually unsure in her heart. After all, she was the ex-girlfriend. Now it is said that as long as the ex-girlfriend wants to come back, everything the current boyfriend does is in vain. If you say that you didn't see clearly what kind of person Wang Yao was before. But when they broke up, you can see it clearly. Lin Feng frowned. Wang Yao, can you stop doing this? It's like I bullied you. Wang Yao's expression froze in an instant, a little embarrassed. I don't know who couldn't help laughing out loud. He said calmly, at the beginning, you took the initiative to pursue me, and we dated for 3 months. Most of the time we spent together was very little. As for feelings, they are definitely not as deep as you said. As for you regretting it, based on my understanding of you, it should not exist. I guess now, she really regrets dumping him. This made Wang Yao even more embarrassed. Zhang Yuxi felt relieved. As for apologizing to me and saying that you hurt my heart, it's actually not necessary. It's all in the past. I didn't take your words to heart at all. But I still thank you very much. If we hadn't broken up, I wouldn't have been lucky enough to meet my wife. It's even more impossible for me to have the happy life now. Lin Feng said seriously, and Wang Yao was really sad this time. Such a handsome and rich ex, can't be saved. So angry, so sad. The store manager took it and Lin Feng quickly wrote his name. Reaching out to Zhang Yuxi, wife, let's go home. Zhang Yuxi held his hand and smiled, charming and charming. Okay. Lin Feng took the shopping bag and left holding Zhang Yuxi's hand. The store manager and others bowed and said goodbye, welcome to visit next time. While there are no customers now, several women who don't have a good relationship with Wang Yao made sarcastic remarks. If it were me, I would regret it so much that I would want to die. Tell me, how can some people be so blind? Are you crazy to leave such a handsome and rich guy like this? Don't talk about whether he has money or not. The key is that his appearance is superb. I am willing to work hard to support him. Some people are ambitious if you say it nicely, and have no self-awareness if you say it bluntly. Don't you know your own weight? You threw away the watermelon to pick up the sesame seeds. In the end, oh wow, you got nothing. You want to rekindle the old love in front of someone's wife, right? Yes, in the end, you got nothing and lost face. His wife is as beautiful as a fairy, mortals like us can't compare to her, not to mention some people who don't know what they are. You want to poach her? Is she worthy? Wang Yao was so angry that she trembled all over. She turned around and said angrily, who are you to care? The few people who spoke sarcastically rolled their eyes at Wang Yao. The store manager turned around and said to Wang Yao with a headache, after today, get your salary and leave. Wang Yao disagreed. The 3-month probation period hasn't ended yet. The store manager ignored her and told them to pack up and prepare to open the store. Wang Yao took off her badge and said, I quit now. The store manager said coldly, whatever. Wang Yao stomped her feet in anger and went to pack her things. Now, she felt bitter as cactus and her anger was like a volcano. On the other side, there were many people watching the show outside the store. Among them, there was the couple who took the hotel car with Lin Feng, looking over with surprise. They didn't expect that they would be the ones to close the store for service. Lin Feng held Zhang Yuxi's hand and looked at the time. Wife, the next train will leave in an hour. We have tickets and we still have time. Okay, let's go to the station now. It only takes 20 minutes to walk from here to the station. Lin Feng put all the things in the suitcase and hurried to the station with Zhang Yuxi. Buy tickets, pick up tickets, go through security check, and find the waiting area. Just 5 minutes after sitting down, the ticket check began. Everything was just right. After getting in the car, Lin Feng put away the suitcase and sat down. Zhang Yuxi leaned on his shoulder. Lin Feng asked softly, are you tired? Do you want to sleep for a while? Zhang Yuxi shook her head. Not only was she not tired, she was also very energetic. This unexpected meeting with her ex-girlfriend could be said to be a major event in her life. The stone in her heart finally fell to the ground. When they got home, they had already had dinner. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi's meals were there, and they could be eaten after heating them in the microwave. When the babies saw them, they rushed over one by one, thinking about it. After kissing, hugging and lifting them high, Lin Feng went to heat up the meal. Zhang Yuxi opened the suitcase and distributed the gifts. As parents, they happily accepted all the gifts. What's more, the bag and clothes given by Zhang Yuxi were all her favorites. And Lan's mother was surprised and said with a smile, "Me too? Thank you, Yuxi. Auntie, you are too polite." She handed the bag in her hand to Lan. "Here, you're too." And Lan was a little flattered. "Ah, me too?" After opening it, and Lan liked it at first sight. She found that there was another bag in the suitcase. Looking at the packaging, she, as a senior enthusiast, knew that it was a limited edition. "Yuxi, let me see this." And Lan opened it and exclaimed, "Oh my god, it's beautiful." At the first sight, she fell in love with the bag. "How much did you buy it for?" Zhang Yuxi shook her head. "I don't know, this is a gift from Lin Feng." When she heard that it was a gift from someone's husband, and Lan's eager heart immediately died down. Suddenly, she felt something was wrong. "Yuxi, you look a little weird. Why did you buy so many LV bags?" Zhang Yuxi doesn't have that kind of luxury awareness. She buys things based on whether she likes them or not. Occasionally, she will go crazy and have a special liking for a certain brand. After a while, she will become a scumbag and ignore that brand. Besides, after getting married, I haven't seen Zhang Yuxi buy any bags. Sure enough, her best friend still understands her. Zhang Yuxi thought to herself and winked at Lan. The general meaning was, if you have anything to say, go upstairs and talk quietly. And Lan was immediately excited, helped Zhang Yuxi pack things, and then took the initiative to carry the suitcase upstairs. Looking at her daughter who suddenly became diligent, and Lan's mother was puzzled. Chapter 296 Reward Resort Hotel. After going upstairs, Zhang Yuxi asked mysteriously, "Do you know? Who did I meet today?" And Lan rubbed her hands excitedly. "Don't tell me yet, let me guess first." Zhang Yuxi smiled, "Okay." And Lan thought for a while, what can make you so excited and hesitant to speak? Could it be that you met Du Jin? What's the matter? Are they breaking up? The marriage is not going to end. Looking at her gloating look, Zhang Yuxi shook her head. "Not this." And Lan raised her eyebrows. "Not this? What is it? Give me a hint." Zhang Yuxi shook her head. "If I give you a hint, you can guess it easily. What's the point?" And Lan nodded. "That's right, this is not challenging for me, it's not fun." She looked at Zhang Yuxi again, and suddenly showed a mysterious smile. "Tell me, did you meet Mr. Lin's ex-girlfriend?" Zhang Yuxi was really shocked, covering her mouth and asked in surprise, "How did you guess it?" And Lan clapped her hands. "Fuck, you really guessed it right. Tell me quickly, what does Mr. Lin's girlfriend look like? Is she pretty?" Speaking of this, Zhang Yuxi elegantly lifted her hair. "What a joke, who can compare to me? I'm a fairy, okay." And Lan, "Sister, although your words are a bit shameless, I admit that you are right, and then what?" Zhang Yuxi did not mention Wang Yao to Lan. "Since the matter has come to an end, just tell it all." 20 minutes later. And Lan regretted it so much. "Oh my god, you said I went with you at that time, and that guy still had the nerve. I peeled her skin a long time ago." And Lan was also angry and laughed at Wang Yao's action. Then she thought, something is wrong. She gloated again. She must be regretting it so much that she's probably crying. She's beating her chest and stamping her feet at home. She deserves it. Zhang Yuxi couldn't help laughing. "Actually, I want to tear her apart. But I don't want to leave a harsh impression on Lin Feng. Besides, I can see that Lin Feng really has no feelings for her." And Lan nodded. "Yeah, as long as you have that intention. It's not easy to find someone with so much information now. Besides, Mr. Lin has money, and it only takes a few minutes to get things done under your nose." Zhang Yuxi thought so too. Deep in her heart, she was grateful to Wang Yao. Without her, she wouldn't know what's good for her. How could she meet such a good man? And Lan sighed. "You two are really lucky. If you were with Lu Boyu, Lin Feng and that green tea girl would not be happy together." On the other hand, Wang Yao couldn't accept the reality at all. After resigning and going to the rental house, she used all her connections to inquire about Lin Feng's news. She wanted to contact him. She was willing to be a licking dog. The next day, Lin Feng learned from Zhang Yanmin. Last night, Wang Yao asked around for Lin Feng's contact information, and it seemed that she had not given up. Lin Feng said indifferently, "I ran into Wang Yao yesterday." Zhang Yanmin understood everything after hearing this. "I know, leave this matter to me." Lin Feng asked curiously, "What can you do?" Zhang Yanmin smiled. I have a friend who has some connections. If she really keeps pestering me, I'll ask him to do it. Lin Feng understood. Thank you, brother. You said you are brothers, why are you thanking me? These few days are the time when the ducklings break out of their shells. With the experience of the previous 2 times, the babies are not as fresh as before this time. However, when they see the fluffy ducklings, they are happier than anyone else. They are little yellow ducks, each of them is so cute, and they walk swayingly. Sibao is also imitating others. After the chicks and quails are hatched, they are very tenacious and there is no death in the later stage. The babies take good care of their babies. Sibao actually had some experience. Mom is so tired taking care of the baby. Yes, because the baby is still young, so we have to take good care of it so that they can grow up quickly. You and Dad taking care of me, is it also so tiring? Zhang Yuxi said with a smile. Yes, it's very tiring, but Mom is very happy. Sibao hugged Zhang Yuxi and kissed her. Mom, I love you. I love you too, baby. At night, in a dream, the voice of the system suddenly came. Ling, because the host brought the baby to experience the process of life, he fulfilled his father's responsibility. A reward of a Donghadeo Resort Hotel. The next day, Lin Feng opened his bag and recalled the system reward last night. He opened his backpack. This place seemed to have become a system space. He opened the file bag. After reading it carefully, Lin Feng was surprised. Compared with the reward of a whole floor last time, this one has increased by many times. Donghadeo is the easternmost part of the country and is also close to the north. It is winter all year round there, and it snows all year round. With the development of the city, it has changed. Takeda is also developing rapidly and has become the leading ski resort in the country. Below the ski resort are all resort hotels, all of which are 4-star and 5-star, and the supporting facilities are all among the best. So far, 5 hotels have been successfully built. If they want to build later, they will not be approved. There is no way even if they have money, so. These 5 hotels have also become the only designated hotels for Takeda. The prices naturally vary, very beautiful. The hotel that the system gave to Lin Feng is called the First Snow International Hotel. The construction time is later than the other 4 hotels, but the supporting facilities are incomparable to them. But the design of this hotel is different. They are divided into 3 types of rooms: 1 bedroom, 1 living room, 1 bathroom, 62 square meters 2 bedrooms, 1 living room, 2 bathrooms, 84 square meters 3 bedrooms, 1 living room, 2 bathrooms, 128 square meters. The former 2 are mostly, although the latter is 3 bedrooms, 1 living room, 2 bathrooms, but it is more like a top-equipped suite, extremely luxurious. The price for one night is simply too beautiful. You can't live here just because you have money. You have to book the room half a month in advance. This time, the system did not handle all the formalities like Xinghao International did. Honey, what's wrong with you? Lin Feng rubbed his chin. Nothing. He put the documents in his hand back into his backpack as if nothing had happened. Let's go eat. Since Lan left, the first heavy snow in the past few years fell in the Magic City. It has been a week. There is already a thick layer of snow on the ground. The babies will put on small gloves at noon, roll snowballs together, and make snow dolls. This snow is far worse than the heavy snow in the north. It will take a day before the babies can play in the snow. After lunch, Lin Feng suggested going to Takeda. If it didn't snow this year, they might not have any ideas. But it snowed this year, and they couldn't get over the addiction of snow, which made them a little itchy. It's just the price. Since they went to Takeda, they must stay for 3 or 4 days. The cost of the hotel and daily expenses are by no means a small number. Zhang Fuiong had been there before, and he came back to count the bills. It was so painful. Therefore, he still needs to remind Lin Feng. Hotels there are rare and expensive. And you have to make reservations half a month in advance. Lin Feng was silent for a while and said, Dad, do you know the Chuxia Hotel? Yes. I bought it. Recommend a friend's new book, Graduation Means Unemployment, Flash Marriage, School Beauty to Set Up a Stall. If you like food and love articles, you can go and read it. Chapter 297, My Own Property. Hearing this, Zhang Fuiong, who was drinking tea, spit out a mouthful of tea. He widened his eyes and looked at Lin Feng in shock. What did you just say? You bought the Chuksu hotel back, are you kidding? Do you know how much the hotel is worth in the market now? It's not that they are willing to sell it to you just because you want to buy it. Lin Feng was silent for a moment and said, Dad, I'm not kidding, I did buy this hotel. Zhang Fuiong was stunned. It's not that I don't believe you, it's really. It was a bit unbelievable. I know that my son-in-law is rich, but his tens of billions are also at the level of big guys in the Magic City. But even for them, that hotel is not something they can buy if they want to. Dad, then I'll go pack up. After that, Lin Feng told Zhang Yuxi the news. Zhang Yuxi always listened to Lin Feng, and the couple packed up together. Husband, do you want to call in Lan's parents? Let's not talk about how close the relationship between the two families is. Just this time, they helped a lot. Lin Feng smiled and said, I've asked Mom to notify them. Zhang Yuxi felt a little regretful, and Lan is gone. If she knew, she would regret it so much. Zhao Lizian was calling in Lan's parents, saying that they were going to play together in Takedo. And Lan's mother hesitated for a moment and said with a smile, we too won't go. You can go as a family. Zhao Lizian didn't know her yet. Go, it won't cost much for 2 people. Besides, it's rare that you are free this year. What are you waiting for if you don't play together? And Lan's mother sighed, if it's just you and Lao Zhang, and you let us go, I will definitely agree. At most, I will pay for you. But your son-in-law asked you to go, so it's inconvenient for us to go. Zhao Lizian frowned slightly, what's inconvenient? It was Lin Feng who asked me to call and ask you to go together. And Lan's mother insisted, Lin Feng is a good child. I appreciate his kindness. Have fun. After talking about it, she just felt that the expenses were high. In addition, it was inconvenient for outsiders. After listening for a long time, Zhang Fuiong stretched out his hand, give me the phone, I'll talk to her. Zhao Lizian raised her eyebrows, as if to say, oh, can you do something? Zhang Fuiong smiled first, then said, don't worry about the money. Lin Feng said that he has bought the Chuksa hotel. My own family business. Zhao Lizian looked at her husband with horror. The other end of the phone took a deep breath. After hanging up the phone, Zhao Lizian came back to her senses. What did you say? Zhang Fuiong smiled and went over to tease Zhao Lizian like a child. Did you hear me? What's the use of a pair of ears? Zhao Lizian asked with sparkling eyes, knocking away the hand that was waving in front of her. Stop it, talk to me properly. Zhang Fuiong smiled again, like a fool. Our son-in-law bought a hotel. It's fake, isn't it? Did the son-in-law get cheated? I've read the documents, it's real. He's with us all day, when did he do this? Besides, how come we haven't heard him mention such a big thing? The child is grown up, it's normal to have his own ideas. After a long while, Zhao Lizian smiled, how come our son-in-law is so powerful? Much better than when you were young. Zhang Fuiong stared, I was not bad when I was young. Otherwise, how could I have chased you? Zhao Lizian snorted, maybe I'm blind, or our daughter has a sharp eye for people. The next day, when we arrived at Takedo, it was all white, and the babies were lying on it. Their excited eyes were full of stars, and they were wearing small down jackets, colorful like chubby little balls. Zhang Yuxi looked at the cable car like the children and said excitedly, Hubby, we're going to ride that. Lin Feng took a look and said, okay. When the babies heard their mother was so excited, they believed it must be a good thing. They were all excited to go and play. Erbao likes to join in the fun the most. Mom, I want to go too. Sibao was so excited just now that he didn't hear what Zhang Yuxi said at all. It took him a while to come back to his senses and said quickly, Mom, Sibao wants to go too. Dabao is the largest among them, chubby and super cute. He raised his little face and said wheezingly, Dabao wants to go too. Everyone has a share, and he will definitely not be left out. Quietly looking at the snow outside, smiling quietly. Sanbao was next to Lin Feng, and after hearing what he said, she hugged her father. She said a little scared, where Dad goes, Sanbao will go. Lin Feng smiled helplessly, okay. When the car arrived under the cable car, Lin Feng pointed to the cable car passing overhead and asked, are you sure you want to go up? From the baby's perspective, these things can walk around in the sky. So amazing! Exclamation mark. Everyone wanted to go up and take a look. Arriving at the hotel entrance, the luxurious atmosphere hit them. The person in charge was already waiting. Only the plot on the TV series happened in reality. One by one, they lined up and respectfully greeted Lin Feng and others. Or they were all people who had seen the world, and they were a little panicked in their hearts, but they remained calm on their faces. Lin Feng waved his hand and said lightly, "Do what you should do." The person in charge was a foreigner, but he spoke Lin Feng's hometown dialect with a clear and fluent pronunciation. "Mr. Lin, this is the person I arranged for you. They are available 24 hours a day. If you want to do anything, you can let them handle it." Lin Feng nodded, "Thank you." The other party was a little flattered and said, "Mr. Lin, you are too polite." Then, they were arranged to stay in a 3-bedroom room. This hotel has a total of 3 buildings, A, B, C, with different apartment types. Building C is far away, but it has the best geographical location and can see the beautiful sunrise and sunset. The viewing effect is excellent. Lin Feng and his friends have their own room, which is not open to the public. After entering, they found that the decoration was extremely luxurious, and all 3 bedrooms had hot springs. The hot spring in the master bedroom is very large, and there is no problem for a family of 6 to soak together. What attracts attention is the huge French windows in the living room, which have a panoramic view of the snow-covered scenery outside. There is also a very eye-catching feature. There is a super large bathing shed here, with colorful fish swimming around. The babies cling to the glass of the fish tank and scream with joy. "Dad, Mom, Grandpa and Grandma. Come and see, there are so many beautiful fish here." "That's right, come on." Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi came over, and Zhao Lizian and others also came over. It is estimated that the fish shed is 1.8 meters by 2 meters in area, and the setting inside is very beautiful. No wonder the children like it. After watching with the children for a while, the others went to pack up and left Zhang Yuxi. The longer Zhang Yuxi stays with the children, the more like a child she becomes. "Wow, look! What kind of fish is this? It's so beautiful." There are stars in the baby's eyes. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelists. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 298 Babies Make Snowmen. After cleaning up, everyone was hungry. There is a small kitchen and a refrigerator here, which is the most satisfying place for Lin Feng. You can go to the restaurant to eat or order food. Everyone discussed and went to the restaurant to see what dishes are available. The restaurant has a whole floor, providing delicacies from various countries. The chefs are all hired at high prices, and the taste is very good. Behind them are staff on call, 24 hours a day. As long as Lin Feng needs it, they will appear. The restaurant is also very gorgeous, revealing the sublimation of gold and jade everywhere. The appearance of the 4 babies and their high-value parents attracted the attention of many tourists. The babies were so happy that they talked to each other about the fish in the tank. It is said that raising children is a blessing, and this is a blessing. Soon, lunch came up, and the chef was also called. It meant to ask Lin Feng if he was satisfied. The burly man was as nervous as a child. Lin Feng tasted it and said very satisfied, "It's delicious." The big man was relieved and went back to the kitchen to work. After lunch, the babies wanted to play. There was so much snow outside, enough for them to have snowball fights and build snowmen. "Boss Lin, we have a snow playground designed specifically for children. Please come with us." There is a large playground in the backyard of the hotel, half of which is open air and half is covered. The babies were so happy that they ran to play one by one. Lin Feng looked and said, "Wife, you watch the babies, I'll go upstairs to get the babies' water cups and sweat towels." Zhao Lizian said, "No, I'll go upstairs to get their coats and take them down by the way. We want to go out for a walk." Lin Feng nodded. Looking at the man behind him who looked like a bodyguard, Lin Feng said, "You go and do your thing." After Lin Feng's firm refusal, the other party gave Lin Feng a special bracelet. This bracelet is free to enter and exit any place in the hotel, including the ski resort and other recreational projects outside. No fees will be charged. Seeing the babies and Zhang Yuxi having fun, Lin Feng couldn't help but join in. Erbao and Sanbao were quietly making snowmen, and Lin Feng accompanied them. Dabao and Sabao went to play snowballs with Zhang Yuxi and had a lot of fun. Zhao Lizian brought the things over. The babies' water bottles are filled with water, and there are also biscuits and sweat towels. Lin Feng put on his backpack and continued to make snowmen with the babies. Lin Feng said to two snowballs, one big and one small, a snowman has eyes, a nose, and a mouth, right? Bao pointed at the snowball and said, it also needs branches. Sanbao said, a scarf. In order to make a perfect snowman, Lin Feng went to the kitchen to ask for a carrot and 2 blueberries. Well, it's a snowman with small eyes, but it's already very good. There are no branches here, because the place is too clean, there are no branches. So, Lin Feng found a pair of chopsticks. So, this is a fat snowman with small eyes and small hands. This snowman is really ugly in Lin Feng's opinion. Bao and Sanbao are very happy and plan to make another snowman its baby. Perhaps in the eyes of children, beauty and ugliness have not yet been determined, but are just concepts of like and dislike. With the help of Lin Feng, the two children quickly built another snowman. Lin Feng went to the kitchen to get carrots. So he discussed with the babies, baby, when we have built the snowman and we are done playing, we will return the carrots, okay? Both children were good babies and had no objections. Zhang Yuxi came over, wow, come and see the little snowman, it's great. Bao and Sabao were panting from playing, their little faces were red. Lin Feng handed them the kettle and covered them with a sweat towel. After cleaning up, several babies unanimously decided they wanted to build a family of 6. After a while, the uneven snowman was built. Lin Feng asked with a smile, baby, don't you want to introduce it to us? They pointed to the biggest snowman and said, this is Dad, this is Mom. Bao pointed to the round snowman and said, this is me. Bao's snowman was crooked, clapping his hands and smiling, saying, this is me. As soon as he finished speaking, his head fell to the ground. Bao's smile froze on his face instantly, and he was about to cry. Zhang Yuxi quickly put the snowman's head back in place, and it was no longer crooked, but straight. Next was Sabao, who was the ugliest. Why was he ugly? He had a hot temper and made a snowman in a mess. He was ugly, but Sabao thought he looked like himself and was very happy. Sanbao was the most beautiful, and Lin Feng discovered that Sanbao had a bit of obsessive-compulsive disorder. Snowballs must be round and there must be no dirt on them. The eyes must be placed correctly, not randomly. Therefore, Sanbao's snowman was the best looking. Come on, let's take a picture. After recording this happy and warm moment, Lin Feng took the carrot back and took it back to the kitchen. The other party already knew Lin Feng's identity and was very flattered. The babies returned to the restaurant and ate milk pudding. The satisfied expressions made the couple laugh. Okay, we're going to take a nap. Zhang Yuxi took the babies to take a nap. After the babies returned to the room, they stood in front of the fish shed and refused to leave. 5 minutes, only 5 minutes for you. The babies happily agreed. After 5 minutes, they lay on the bed and chattered non-stop. Unknowingly, without supervision, they all fell asleep. Tired, Zhang Yuxi tossed and turned all day and lay on the tatami in front of the window. While lying, she looked at the scenery. Lin Feng sat over, wife. Every time Lin Feng called her like this, Zhang Yuxi had a bad premonition. Look, the scenery here is beautiful, right? Yes, yes. You speak properly. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows. Why didn't I speak properly? Zhang Yuxi grabbed his hand. Stop it. It's impossible to stop. Next, in front of this huge French window, Lin Feng had a deep exchange with Zhang Yuxi from behind. Chapter 299 Spreading dog food during the New Year. After the babies woke up, Zhang Yuxi took them to take the cable car. After Lin Feng showed the bracelet, the tourists around cast curious eyes on Lin Feng. It is said that this bracelet is only for special level customers. Here, they met Zhao Lizian and others. They were also going to take the cable car. After sitting in, the babies lay in front of the cable car window, looking at the snowy scene outside, stunned. They are flying. Sanbao was a little scared, and nestled in Lin Feng's arms, looking scared. Lin Feng comforted her, Sanbao, don't be afraid, don't look down, look up. Lin Feng pointed to her, did you see it? The flying person is skiing. We will go to the ski resort in a while, Mom and Dad will take you to play, okay? Sanbao panicked when she heard it, I don't want to fly. Lin Feng coaxed her, okay, don't fly, let's watch them fly, okay. After reaching a certain height, smoke began to rise. Sanbao was not so scared at this time, and couldn't help but say, it's so beautiful. Zhang Yuxi was also stunned. It's really beautiful. It was like being in a fantasy, so beautiful. In the end, they were all in the whiteness. Finally, it dissipated and arrived at the terminal. When the other party saw the orange bracelet on Lin Feng's wrist, his attitude was more respectful than before. There were also special staff to receive them. In addition to the ski resort, there is also an ice skating rink and an amusement park. When the babies heard about the amusement park, they were excited and went to take a look. Zhang Yuxi was also happy. There are small chairs. After a few people sit on them, they can glide with support poles. In addition to adults, there are also children. But there is an age limit. Children under 6 years old must play under the supervision of their parents. Children under 3 years old must play with their parents. Among them, there is also a very long slide. How long is it? Slide directly down the mountain. Exclamation mark. I just want to ask you if it is exciting? There are helipads on the top floor of the Chuxu Hotel and the top floors of the 3 houses. There are 5 planes in total. They have their own rescue team and medical team. They are on call, 24 hours a day, and they will ensure the safety of tourists. This is not available in other hotels. There is no 6-seater, and the largest is only 4-seater. So, the other babies were distributed to the 2 groups of Zhao Lizian and Lan's father. Raymond Lam took Bao and Sanbao to play together. These 2 little guys have no sense of security, unlike the other 2 who are heartless. So the couple naturally have to take more care of them. In the play area, there are staff wearing skates as assistants, patrolling at any time. At first, Bao and Sanbao were a little worried. After playing for a while, they all let go and giggled happily. After a while, Zhao Lizian and Zhang Fuian caught up with Dabao and Sibao. Sibao was excited. Mom, Dad, we are here. Dabao shouted from behind, we are here too. Everyone had a lot of fun, like crazy, and they were very happy. After a rest, Sibao said he wanted to go down and play on the slide. Lin Feng was startled. Are you sure? Sibao's eyes lit up. Yes. Then he said heavily, Daddy, protect me. Lin Feng hesitated. I'm going to ask the staff if the babies can play. The light in Sibao's eyes disappeared in an instant. Lin Feng comforted him. If you can't play, there's nothing we can do. After all, you're still too young. If you encounter danger, you will get hurt and bleed, or even worse, an accident will happen. If that's the case, Mom and Dad will be very sad, understand? After hearing this, Sibao nodded helplessly. Okay. Facts have proved that babies like Sibao's age can't play. But there are slides in the children's park, which can also be played. Sibao had no choice but to agree. If it was food, he might not compromise. After playing until sunset, the ski resort became colorful and gorgeous under the lights. Of course, it was also colder. The babies live in the south, and after knowing it, snow only exists in their imagination. Now, they finally see snow, and they don't want to go home after playing. Finally, Lin Feng promised. After saying they would come back tomorrow, the babies agreed. The hotel has many recreational facilities and a place to play cards. In short, it has everything. Lin Feng took the babies for a walk and went home to take a bath. This was the first time the babies took a bath together. Dabao, who doesn't like water, ran out of the room. Lin Feng wore shorts and held the babies to play together. 10 minutes later, he took the little ones out to clean up, and the adults could soak for a while longer. After soaking, the quality of sleep at night has improved a lot. Here, it's the new year. Several times, Anlan wanted to fly from Guangzhou. If it wasn't for the new year, it would be difficult to buy air tickets, and she would have come back a long time ago. She was about to cry with anger. If President Lin told her, she wouldn't leave. To be honest, if it wasn't for the new year, they didn't want to go back. After returning, they took the ducks, chickens and quails from the boss and took them home. Cleaning, posting couplets. Staying up all night to get red envelopes. This time Inlan was not at home, and Inlan's father and Inlan's mother came to celebrate the new year together. 1 0, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Exclamation mark. The community prohibits fireworks, so the babies are not afraid. That night, everyone I know turned on their phones, sent messages, or video chatted. Happy New Year! The babies couldn't hold on, and they couldn't hold on for long and went to sleep. At midnight, Zhao Lizian sent messages, made calls, and answered videos. It was time to go to bed. For women, beauty sleep is very important. Lying on the bed, Zhang Yuxi looked at Lin Feng with a smile. Happy New Year, prosperity, and family happiness. Then, she spread her hands and tilted her head to look at Zhang Yuxi. Lin Feng was stunned for a moment, then smiled. Wait for me. Okay. Lin Feng took out his mobile phone, and Zhang Yuxi thought he was busy, so she waited obediently. Then, she heard a WeChat message and opened it. It was a transfer of 5,201,314, and the note was, "Wife, Happy New Year!" Exclamation mark. Zhang Yuxi was surprised and delighted, and threw herself into Lin Feng's arms. Husband, I love you. Lin Feng held her and smiled handsomely. How do you want to thank me? A big kiss. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows. That's it. Zhang Yuxi understood immediately. After many years of marriage, they still have a tacit understanding. Husband, wait a minute. This is the first red envelope we received after getting married. I want to post it on WeChat Moments to commemorate it. Then, Zhang Yuxi posted a screenshot of receiving the red envelope. This is the red envelope my husband gave me. The first time, I must commemorate it. The first person to reply was Lan. Damn, are you a human being? Are you still a human being? Is there anyone who hurts your best friend again and again like you? The second one was teacher Han Wen. On the first day of the new year, I was hit hard. Exclamation mark. But I wish you and Lin Feng a long and lasting relationship. The third one was Tang Zilfan. It is said that she studied design abroad and lived the life she wanted. Happy New Year, be happy. Finally, her students. Damn, more than 5 million. Teacher, we also want red envelopes to share in the joy. Teacher Zhang, Happy New Year. Some of the comments were quite funny. Zhang Yuxi was reading with great interest when her phone was snatched away by Lin Feng. Are they more important, or am I? Zhang Yuxi smiled sweetly and hugged him. Of course my husband is the most important. Here, Zhao Lizian saw her daughter's circle of friends and couldn't help but envy the young people's good relationship. Suddenly, she had an idea. She said to Zhang Fuiong, who was reading a book, Happy New Year, and may you make a fortune. Chapter 300, The Elder's Way of Showing Love. Hearing this, Zhang Fuiong was frightened. Are you okay? Zhao Lizian smiled. No, I just wish you a happy new year and good fortune. Zhang Fuiong said, and smiled. Is that so? I also wish you a happy new year and become more and more beautiful. Zhao Lizian's smile froze a little bit. That's all. Zhang Fuiong was surprised. Then I wish you a better figure. Zhao Lizian hit him. Think about it carefully. Zhang Fuiong asked tentatively. I wish you to be 18 forever. Zhao Lizian laughed. Nothing. Zhang Fuiong saw that there was something else in the words. What do you mean? Explain it to me. Zhao Lizian ignored him and played with her phone. Zhang Fuiong was a smart man and felt that the problem must be with the phone. Seeing that Zhao Lizian's phone interface was Moments, he quickly used Moments to check. Got it. Then he sent a transfer of 1,314,520 to her. Zhao Lizian took a look and couldn't help laughing. Oh, I didn't expect that he was quite sensible. Zhang Fuiong saw her holding it, came over and asked with a smile, Happy New Year. Do you like this gift? Zhao Lizian coughed lightly. It's okay. Thank you. Zhang Fuiong smiled and said, it's my duty. Zhao Lizian also took a screenshot to show off, but to avoid embarrassment. She blocked both Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng. In the bedroom. After the two of them talked, Zhang Yuxi lay on the bed tiredly and saw that Lan sent her a screenshot. Yuxi, uncle and auntie made me laugh to death. Lin Feng clicked on the picture to take a look. It turned out that Zhao Lizian was showing off Zhang Fuiong's transfer of money on her Moments. He went in and found that there was no Moments. Why didn't I see this one? Then, Lan took a screenshot. It showed that this Moments was still there, but it was blocked by Zhao Lizian. Zhang Yuxi was confused. What was going on? Lan immediately reacted, Auntie must feel a little embarrassed. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, Lan sent another screenshot. It was a screenshot of Lan's mother's transfer record. Lan's father transferred 1,312,520 to her. Suddenly, Lan cried. She started laughing heartlessly, but now she is so angry that she is crying. She showed Zhang Yuxi the screenshot of herself and Lan's mother. My dear mother. Lan, Dad, Please give me a red envelope for the new year. I am still a baby. And Lan's father, daughter, you are so old, do you still want a red envelope? And Lan, as long as I am not married, I am a baby. I will always be your child. And Lan's father, I don't want you as a baby. And Lan, I don't care, I want a red envelope. And Lan's father transferred 250 in return. After that, he was very generous and said, okay, there is no extra. And Lan was unhappy, you gave my mother more than 1 million and gave me a few hundred. Dad should not be so partial. And Lan's father, giving you a few hundred yuan is already good. Do you want more than that? If you don't want it, give it back to me. And Lan, stingy. Afterwards, and Lan went to find and Lan's mother again. And Lan, Mom, it's Chinese New Year, send me a red envelope and transfer some money, just consider it auspicious. And Lan's mother, no problem, then say a few auspicious words. And Lan, I wish Mom to be as beautiful as a flower in the new year and always be 18 years old. And Lan's mother sent a red envelope of 250. As expected of a couple, they have such a tacit understanding. And Lan cried, are you still my good mother? You received more than 1 million red envelopes from Dad, can't you give me a little more? What's the meaning of giving me 250? Am I still your daughter? Am I your sweetheart? Do you still love me? And Lan's mother, that was sent to me by my husband. If you want a red envelope, go find your own husband. Giving you 250 is good enough. And Lan, Mom, you bully people. And Lan's mother, I don't bother to pay attention to you. And Lan. Zhang Yuxi smiled while looking at the screenshots, and sent An Lan 250 in the backhand. It was like adding insult to injury, and An Lan was so angry that she called her. Yuxi? My parents laughed at me for 500 yuan, and you not only didn't comfort me, but also made it worse. How can you be a best friend like this? Zhang Yuxi chuckled, what else? Give you 25,000. And Lan laughed, you don't have to. I am a wealthy woman with status and position now. I don't need your charity. Zhang Yuxi laughed, even if you want it, I may not give it to you. And Lan was furious, it hurts, sister. Suddenly, An Lan shouted, fuck. Lin Feng felt something was wrong and asked hurriedly, what happened? And Lan, who was shouting just now hesitated. A friend of mine sent me a transfer of 52,000 yuan to confess his love to me. Zhang Yuxi was stunned, confess to you. And Lan was a little amused, he's stupid, don't confessions usually happen over the phone or in person? He transferred 52,000 yuan and wanted to date me. Are you kidding? Zhang Yuxi smelled something unusual. Tell me honestly, what happened this time when you go back? Did you find a boyfriend in Yangchang? And Lan avoided the question. No. For someone like me, why do I need to find a boyfriend? But a few days ago, I met that friend of mine in the bar. Zhang Yuxi asked relentlessly, who is your friend? Do I know Lin Feng? And Lan was silent on the other end of the phone. Zhang Yuxi coaxed her, tell me, what happened? And Lan stammered, it was the night before yesterday, we met in the bar, and then he asked me out for dinner. We drank too much? Then what? And Lan stammered for a long time before saying, you know, we are all adults, right? Since we are adults, we must have our own needs in certain aspects. So we drank too much and couldn't help ourselves, something happened. But afterwards I told him very clearly that this was consensual, and we were both drunk. Just like that, the matter was left unresolved. Then he started sending me flowers and WhatsApp messages every day. Zhang Yuxi asked with a smile, so, you were moved? And Lan was silent for a while and said, I was a little moved. Maybe I've eaten too much dog food around me. I saw someone who looks okay and has a good personality. I thought he was pretty good and wanted to fall in love. Zhang Yuxi said softly, then why not give it a try? Maybe after dating for a while, you'll find that you are quite compatible with each other. And Lan sighed, okay. I'll talk to him. Just think of it as a New Year's gift to myself. Zhang Yuxi whispered, remember to protect yourself. Don't get pregnant before you're sure. Do you understand what I mean? And Lan on the other end couldn't help rolling her eyes. Do you think I'm like you? I'm smart. Zhang Yuxi. She didn't want to either. Who made Lin Feng so powerful that he could kill someone with one blow? End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.